I mean, I'm joined with Casey, where he was bringing the PNW power duo on a Boston tournament, because West Coast clearly is the best coast. How you doing, Casey?
Extremely true. I'm doing pretty alright.
All right, that's good. It's good to hear. Thank you for also with the last-minute assist for tagging in today, as we've had a little bit of a mix-up at the very end. But we've got a very, very exciting bracket to be looking at for our tournament today.
Yeah. Is there any match in particular that or any person, I guess, in particular that you're looking forward to seeing matches from?
Yeah, so Yona actually entered the bracket, which is big, right? Yona, who last major result was 4th place at Combo Breaker, right? Because they weren't at Chain Shift and they weren't at CEO. So coming off a really, really hot performance there. Obviously, one of the stronger UNI2 players, strongest UNI2 players in North America, to be quite honest. But I have no idea who they're going to play, because I feel like they also shuffle between 8 different characters on net play.
Yeah, I know at least about the Seth, but I don't know about any other characters. Or Carmine?
So the Seth and
maybe
the Wagner is
real.
The Wagner is real. Yeah, they brought it out in Combo Breaker.
I see.
So they lost immediately, then went back to Seth, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Yona does have a Wagner. There is a Carmine. I think there's a Hyde. I know a lot of those
okay, I'll be honest. I feel like anyone can have a Hyde. No Flame,
true.
I think that character's pretty easy to play.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
So,
I just don't know if you're correct. All right. But other people on here, Mr. B is in here as he usually is most of these weeks with that very, very strong Aurier, so that's someone to be looking out for. LuFL entered the bracket as well. Phone on player. I know LuFL has some other characters, but I think he's mostly been locking in Phone on, just trying to limit to one character while still competing in multiple games.
Yeah, multi-gaming means having multiple characters. When you multi-game is kind of really difficult.
Yes, especially I don't know, Phone on is maybe not as much anymore. She used to be a character that you could salary man a bit, but I think with the install stuff and how her gameplay works in UNI2, you have to kind of commit a lot more to her.
Yeah,
I
think her execution stuff is midway difficult. I don't think she's insanely hard to play, but I would say she probably does require at least a little bit of maintenance in this version of the game, at least. Yeah. Earlier versions not so much, but yeah.
Yeah. Other names that I do want to point out that we have coming in later on is Pazoo entered the bracket. So Pazoo's a really, really strong Exord player, the Venom player. So I didn't know that they were playing that much Uni. It'll be pretty exciting to see who they're playing and how they want to treat the Uni game plan, right? Because I feel especially Exord players, every Exord player has a different idea of what they want to be doing in a fighting game, and how that translates to Undernight is very, very interesting.
Yeah, I can't say that I know too many Exord players that have picked up Uni. I know one of our locals, Dan, has done that.
Yeah.
Faust player that also decided to play Merkava. I'm just yeah, that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, it's a stereotype. It's a stereotype. No, but I think probably the most prominent example we had was White Beast, right? The Milia player in Exord and Batista player in Uni. Very, very strong in both those games.
I feel that crossover kind of makes sense too. I don't know. Maybe not so much in this version. No, it does. I feel at least Clearvat.
I feel maybe a little bit more in this version, because they've kind of doubled down on her being the mix-up character. Obviously, I don't think she's as crazy.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel her mix-ups in this patch are not amazing. I've seen Ankle throw too many games with Disco to believe that Disco's good. So.
Once again, that is an Ankle Gator problem. That is not a Batista problem. We have to separate the root cause. But it looks I think our first match that we're going to be having on deck is Yuri Ark versus Tennarakun. Yuri, long time Wagner player from my memory. Were they an ST player?
I think so.
Early ST? Yeah.
I vaguely remember, so it was either that or early clear.
Yeah, definitely someone who's been around the block longer than I have, from the grand scale of things. And then they're going to be playing Tennarakun, who's a name that I feel I see constantly, and I just cannot remember who they play. In this game, at least. I think they're an S player in BlazBlue.
Okay.
which is kind of like, you know, you could be playing anybody in this game with that.
Hide player. That's what I'm calling it now.
Hide player. I can see Laundrek.
Oh yeah, that's true. I could see Laundrek here as well. I know that didn't Yuri Ark also have like play Laund for a little bit, like in clear, when people thought that Laund was bad?
Yeah, during the era of Laund.
When they were wrong, but you know.
Yeah.
Just saying, that character was pretty good in clear. But I wonder.
No, that character sucks.
True.
Remember? The
True.
character's bad. Smile.
Is this right?
So I think this is our other match that we have up on deck coming up later, which is that one dude versus Genki
okay.
Green. So I think we're just waiting for players and whatnot. Browsing through X the Everything app featuring Grok. I think Tennarakun might be a Kuon player. Hold on, pause. No, I don't know. They are talking about Kuon.
I see.
So I'm assuming.
I mean,
Kuon
who isn't
is
talking
on the
about
mind?
Kuon, though, you know, I'm just saying.
So true.
I guess less so in this patch, but
yeah. Well, it also didn't Shaley just win Chain Shift?
that might be true. I don't know.
I'm blanking on who actually like won Chain Shift off the top.
Apparently, we're also swapping matches. So it looks like we're gonna do that dude versus Genki Green.
Yeah, the old head match. We have like a lot of old. Yeah, that one dude. We have the old head like because that one dude's been was an ST player. Genki Green was an EL player, if I remember correctly. I think that's when they started.
That name is definitely familiar. I mean, I didn't start playing an EL, but I did start playing an ST, and I've definitely heard of Genki Green before. So
yeah, Genki also plays a lot of French Bread games. I think they're mostly a CC player, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Too many of like that era French Bread player where they just play every game and it's where you saw them first is the game that
you associate the person with. Yeah.
Right. But so this will be Uzuki versus Gord.
That's hype. That is actually a fun matchup, I'm pretty sure. I played both of those characters, so it'll be really fun to see how this actually works out. I think Gord kind of really hates TK236 a lot. Like once he gets meter, it's a little bit less scary, but I mean, eating a EX Grim Reaper doesn't matter, so.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Like, this is definitely a matchup, like, because I've been playing a lot of Gord as well recently. That I feel like it's going to be interesting at least to see how they want to be piloting it. That one dude does like to be very aggressive in the early round starts, also recognizing that hey, Genki Green might want to be a little bit more passive here, already finding the RPS to go into their favor and locking them down in the corner.
Very good redash pressure there, like baiting green shields quite nicely. And you know, there it is. It's classic in this version of the game, I feel. Assault into assault and someone like misses throw attack.
Yeah. Especially it's the Netflix special, right? You know, you're playing maybe across the country a little bit right here, but that one dude not letting it get to
Should
them.
Be dead.
Gonna be
it.
Yeah. And we blocked 6B
nice
online.
mash.
We're good press.
That's a 5-framer only privilege without shield, and you're dead.
Yeah, unfortunately the shield is gone as with the round at the very end right there. But forcing that one dude to use the meter early on is, or like in that set, because they could have won that with 200, it would have been a lot scarier of a situation right here.
Okay. No, tries to go for a reset, but yeah, it's not a very good one. Drops the combo.
Okay, doesn't finish. Yeah, but it's fine. Take those CS comes out, allowing that one to take the pressure back. We try to backdash out, but the Grim Reaper coming out. Pop that 236C as well. Just get the damage, get the corner carry.
Oh, actually gets the punish. Nice. Oh, it's a really awkward punish, though. But nice recovery to actually get some sort of OP off of it.
Oh, yeah, just rebeat on the 2B right there. Confirm to the IW to quickly close it out. We do it as simple as possible, and that's that one dude taking
I can tell that one guy's is an older Gord player, because he's not doing the, like, 63B, 22C stuff that leads to an actual combo. And I don't do that either, so that's how I know he's, like, an SD player.
That is one of our locals is picking up the game back after not playing for a while, and they're doing the exact same stuff. That is that Boomer Gord mentality, but we do still use those new moves, utilizing that 66F right there. continue the pressure. We go through and we try to toss Genki out, but it's not going to work out.
Shouldn't die off this, but it's going to be like a sim CS will kill for sure.
Frames. Genki Green just holding down back right now, trying to trade.
Mistimed the mash.
Reaper, no punish, so we just do it again.
He can basically cancel the whole time, so it's, you know, it's not risky to challenge, but it can be scary sometimes.
Yeah, especially when they've pretty much only been presenting Reaper. If I'm like looking at it correctly, right? You don't want to be challenged. You don't want to worry like, oh, what are they going to be bringing out that A Reaper right at the very end? Here we go. Genki Green finally getting some pressure started. Stand blocking on the force function, which allows that 3C to connect right there. But we dropped the combo, no punish.
Fuzzy? Nope, just goes for a 5A.
Yeah, they saw the sand shield right there to try to punish on the anti-air attempt. Had that CS to recover it in time. That's going to be that one dude becoming that two dude, taking it 2-0 over Genki Green.
Yeah, I feel like that was just a bunch of classic Gord play. So pretty cool stuff. I think Gord's pretty fun in this version.
Yeah, Gord is definitely like Gord stocks are going up, and we've seen in like all the previous patches that Gord's gotten either little buffs or quality of life improvements to I think really help him.
Yeah, I think it's always really funny to like tell people this version of Gord is like by far the best version of the character in a vacuum. But it's just the game that EL Gord was in was a completely different game, yeah. But it looks like we're going back to the first that we were supposed to do.
Yep, so we got the Yuri Ark on the Wagner, and Tennarakun is on that Kuon, like, scrolling through their timeline, maybe take a good guesstimate right here. So Wagner Kuon's also a very funny matchup, because it really is reliant on the Wagner player to just kind of be very patient, and to wait for that Kuon player to take some big risk to try to, like, close out of the gap, because a lot of the normal Wagner stagger does get blown up with having that flash kick.
Oh yeah, having to deal with the flash kick is probably really annoying for an Assault JACS.
Yeah, catching it really late as well. Going to be able to go for the corner route, ending in the double buffs as well with the 5AB Ender, try to get that hard knockdown as long as possible. And now Tennarakun just waiting, but unfortunately you pressed at the wrong time. 214B is going to connect. And this should kill if you want to spend CBO. Or do you not? CS is on the wrong side. My apologies. I lost Girl today.
Oh, you hate to see it. We're just glossing over the fact that Assault JACS did like 2.8 there, right? So that was kind of nasty.
Well, yeah. It's because Yuri Ark is goated with it. They're definitely one of those Wagner players that actually like tries to go for the hyper-optimized routing pretty consistently. It's something I always see them in the Wagner chat looking for and trying to see how we can like improve on our route even just little by little. And that Assault JACS right there was a good recognition. Great force function right there to get rid of the ring.
Function float right there. Yuri Ark's kind of running away with it, I feel.
Yeah, Tennarakun finally finding an opportunity to shield off that force function, right? Maybe try to stabilize a little bit more.
Preemptive roll.
Does have the pickup right here? Let's go.
Yeah, I don't think preemptive roll is particularly good in any zoner matchup, but I think definitely not Kuon.
Yeah, I think Yuri Ark tried to have a read on like the slower play that Tennarakun had been bringing to the table, but unfortunately they just needed to play a little bit faster to find that last hit, find that, and take that first round.
I feel like it feels like the Kuon player is just like not particularly comfortable with some of the buttons, right? Like if I were in this matchup, I would probably be slamming 236A constantly and like 22A constantly. But
yeah, this is actually this matchup that you and I have played before, and that is exactly what you do in a lot of these situations. What you see a lot of other Kuons try to do. You saw Tennarakun try to air originally because they've been seeing Yuri Ark get a lot of these air hits to work out, but unfortunately Yuri Ark able to still make the ground work into their favor. And just going to continue to loop this corner pressure once again. We tech out right there because we weren't buffering to charge off the CS.
Oh,
no flash kick.
That should be around.
Shield card. You may have been able to kill meterless there. I'm trying to think.
It's too hard. It's not worth it. Spend 100. It's UNI2.
It is UNI2, but you know, some of those things to think about right here. Just like Yuri Ark is thinking, today I will press the 6B button and just slamming it into the pressure for Tennarakun. Looping him back into this corner once again, putting him in a very good spot.
Thrown. You don't like to see that.
Tennarakun not getting hit by the once again. Yeah, we just ripped that DP ball. We didn't find the one-hit pickup though.
Okay, that would have been kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie.
It is possible, and it's like the most scaled combo in this game.
I've seen Elton do a very similar thing with her BDP, and it was like 1,200 damage, and I was like, that looked like a lot of work for nothing.
I don't remember what event it was, but I was like talking with Atlas, and he showed me a route that was like Wagner 200 meter for like 920
That's awesome.
damage off that.
And
that's like one hit stray hit DP chain shift. The best case scenario for damage bonus, and it's still scaled like negative.
It's like objectively worse than just hitting another hit of the DP.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, and also I love Oregon. Shoutouts to Southern Oregon. We got Rakestraw coming up as our next match versus Atari. Atari is Ohio. I don't remember where specifically. I want to say they're Toledo. I just assume everybody from Ohio is Toledo, unless the name's Yushichi. I'm going to be honest. But yeah, this is going to be Hyde versus Uzuki.
Yeah, and I know that Rakestraw actually has experience in this matchup because I've played against him with Uzuki like a good amount. He's Rakestraw is like a local grinder for sure. He is always in the netplay channel answering things.
Well, not only like locally, Rakestraw is one of those people that if you've ever looked at the Hyde wiki, you have read Rakestraw.
That is true, yeah.
Because like through the entirety of the pandemic, he was just making sure that wiki is as like in depth as possible, and a lot of that stuff, obviously transfers over to UNI2, but still tries to make sure that like, hey, Hyde's got all this information that we can make this character cook.
Yeah, he's been doing a really good archiving job for sure, and I've noticed that he's also just like gotten better, as he's been grinding more, which is pretty natural. But I'm really excited to see how he does against another Uzuki.
Yeah, I feel like I saw him play against an Uzuki in a netplay tournament recently. I can't find it really quickly, but
I'm surprised I've seen two. I feel like the character was not that popular. Like, she was initially really popular, and then people realized she was bad, and then she was just not popular after that. I feel like she's definitely a lot better after the changes that they made, but I feel like she's still missing some stuff.
Yeah, I do think she allows you to play, like, she's the closest thing to this, like, item toss and sort of, I don't know, item set style character that the game has. So if you want that explicit play style, this is your option,
that, yeah.
Right? There are, like, a character like Merkava, which has items set with the heaviest quotations
it's just an
imaginable with, like,
tool,
armor
so.
stuff. Right, exactly, so. Also, like, I don't know, I still think this character has legs. And
no, I actually think that, like, she's not too bad. I think this matchup is pretty horrid for her, but that's kind of just Hyde, so.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Atari can overcome it. Like, I know Atari is also, like, one of those, like, is a grinder, not, I don't know if as much as Rakestraw, right? But definitely someone who I see, at least in these netplay brackets, very consistently. Definitely someone who makes it to their offline events as well at www.ohiofgc.com.
Is that a custom color? I love that custom color if it is. If it's not, I gotta find the number.
I think that is their custom color. And right now, you're already seeing the custom defense come through. Both players just patiently waiting to see how they wanted to play against each other. But Atari realizing that they can take the initial pressure right now and should be able to find some of these strengths.
Tried to go for the TK route, but just a little too slow. You hate to see that. And that's kind of what I mean. Hyde can just throw 236B, and there is nothing Uzuki can do about it other than hold it. Like, if she goes puddle, he does the slam and hits you. If you try to do coffin, he does the explosion and hits you. It's a sad time.
Yeah, so it'll be up to Atari to see like how they can beat out some of this fireball pressure, but unfortunately for them, Rakestraw reading that wake up throw attempt right there.
Oh, no punish though.
That was a 6B that I think was supposed to be a DP right there. So unfortunately for Rakestraw, gonna get hurt, gonna get grid broken with the late full charge overhead right there. And you have the meter on deck to put it into a one-touch situation with the poison applied as well. We went low.
I hate to see it.
Yeah, just an unfortunate drop rate. They're causing them the whole round after an unfortunate sequence of events. Fireball explosion not going to be able to connect right here, though, but we will find the coffin hit, but no follow-up. See, laser will connect at the very end, though.
And, you know, Rakestraw is actually really good at hit confirming, I feel, so I feel like he almost never drops combos.
Yeah, I mean, it was someone who grew up in the delay-based mines,
true.
right? They were willing to play those 7-frame connections. You've got to learn how to be nasty with them.
And he did grind a lot in clear as well, so definitely played in the delay-based mines.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Not quite dead.
Yeah, but... Yeah, didn't actually find the full hit right there, so... Even off the no-tech Rakestraw, found their way out, found the side swap. Should be able to keep the pressure up. CS, though, not going to be able to let you find the hit. Going to be able to let Rakestraw find a throw combo, though.
Not going to be quite enough to kill, but another throw probably doesn't kill either.
Well, I like the falling CS right there. Just guarantee yourself safe, but unfortunately you weren't safe from the stagger pressure. And that's Atari taking game number 1.
Yeah, I feel like Rakestraw is going for a lot of this, like... it's not really weird hide Oki, right? It's like pretty standard stuff. I feel like a lot of hide players do it, but I think it's particularly bad against Uzuki because most of the time that she's mashing something, it's probably going to be something that moves her forward. And it kind of ruins that whole thing. And obviously you kind of saw, like, if the DP happens, you can't punish the DP. Like the sea dolphin from Uzuki. So I think going for, like, a more normal strike throw would probably have been a lot better there for Rakestraw.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that, like, it's a net play bracket. Sometimes you have to try to pull out the net play game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think that stuff's a gimmick. I just think it's, like, particularly weak in this matchup. Like, I think that stuff is actually pretty solid. But I think specifically in the matchup, not as much.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think just like in a perfect world, just keeping that pace a little bit slower. Like you saw in the the early stages that Rakestraw was making that game plan work, but just was like trying to too quickly move to that next layer to try to like overtake Atari on some of those pressures after the like losing the round off the dropped combo, and unfortunately just put themselves right back in that situation. Forcing the scrambles.
Yeah, I think Atari did a really good job with this, with like taking advantage of the scrambles, right, that happened off of these types of things. But, I mean, if you're an Uzuki player, you're probably just forcing scrambles 24/7. I speak as someone that played the character and forced scrambles 24/7. Like,
yeah,
she's pretty good in scrambles, and it's pretty fun to force scrambles with her. So, I understand.
Yeah, it definitely seems like I think what you also where you've seen that character like succeed with very well. Other like higher level Uzukis that have like placed with the character kind of just are playing. I don't know. Like, every time I watch Defi Uzuki, for example, I feel like Defi is just playing like the better strike throw game than their opponent, just because Defi's kind of like cracked with it. Comparably, I feel like when you see these like Uzuki like diehards who are like, this is my character, this is what I
a very
wanna
different
play.
style of play.
It's a very, very different style of play. That's sort of what you're getting from Atari right here, like you were saying.
The force scramble kind of deal. One thing I'd like to see, like, more people do, or at least, like, I mean, we've only seen 2 Uzukis, and maybe, because it was so scramble heavy, it's, like, hard to say anything about pressure, but I'd really like to see more Uzukis do, like, puddle in pressure. I think puddle in pressure is, like, a lot of really strong applications.
That's definitely...
I see.
Gotcha. Yeah, so we're doing a quick little connection reset right now. Just, you know, it's a net play tournament, happens to the best of us. I'm trying to remember what I'm awful with names right now. That's definitely Zyma is someone who does that a lot, specifically. Where I feel like as you'll see them like on the pressure, try to use like even just single puddle cross up to continue it to catch your opponent lacking as that pressure reset, so to speak, right? Instead of trying to find these like very minus rebeats that you see on these other characters.
Yeah, I think that stuff is like pretty okay. I do think there's some like really cool stuff where you do like instant puddle cancel forward, and like there's certain ranges that you can put yourself at where if you use like an advancing normal and puddle cancel, you can like throw them in a way that like is really awkward looking for the opponent. And then if they like start to try to mash on the puddle, you just like special cancel into Dolphin and do 4K for free on them.
Yeah.
So
hopefully we get to see a little bit of that as our players are resetting, because it looks like they're now back in and ready to go. Hopefully ready to go. They didn't immediately ready up, so you never know. That's what.
Maybe they don't know if we're ready though. You know.
That is true. That is true. Looks like Rakestraw's ready. As soon as Atari hits that button, we will be good to go to get back into the match. As a reminder, it is 1-0 on Atari right now. So Rakestraw does have to make this comeback. Does have to find the way to not like force those scramble situations as much, because as soon as those have occurred, Atari has been taking them.
I think minimizing scrambles is something that Rakestraw should definitely be looking to do, which is kind of like antithetical to a lot of hide play, but you know, sometimes you get out scrambled.
Yeah, and like that's resetting down to that, you know, that layer 0 that hide is generally very good at. You can already see, I think, in the playstyle of Rakestraw just wanting to play a little bit farther away from Atari's pressure right here, because they know when they get into this situation, it can be a little scarier for them. 6B rebeat, but we won't find the hit, but we will find the Totsugeki mash after the late.
Combo, gets the side saw combo. Yeah, single item toss. Oh no, this is gonna hurt a lot. That's like super unscaled vial damage is like 500 minimum damage. So that was actually like 4.2.
Good late VO right there to be able to get out of the bomb as soon as the pressure's coming through. C Pizza gonna get bodied by the Guzuki right there. 6B doesn't connect him out in the sky, and Atari is just in, you know, the perfect situation for them right now.
Oh, that's the good stuff. That's the puddle stuff I'm talking about. And now you're dead.
Yeah. But Atari clearly is sitting with the stream being like, oh yeah, I should play that. That'll work great. And so we'll immediate round start Rekka here for Rakestraw. Good 6 speed to try to get the pressure reset as we go through. Trades, though, are going to go into Atari's favor.
Nice little confirm. Doesn't... okay. Chooses to spend meter. I usually agree with that. Gets the poison vial out of the way.
Yeah.
I love that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I unironically love it. I do the same thing. Oh no, you can't guard thrust that.
Yeah, Rakestraw looking for that opportunity. Unfortunately, Atari playing around those next steps that Rakestraw was trying to take, and that's going to be them moving on forward. Which they will be fighting Jack, who actually upset Yona on the winter side of the bracket.
Okay.
So Yona and the losers a little bit earlier, which is something that we'll have to potentially see later on. But our next match...
I was going to say, do you know who Jack plays?
Not off the top of my head. This is someone who, like, I see, like, making the rounds on stuff. Like, yeah, 9th at the last Boston Blue Beat. I don't know where Capital City Clash is. Oh, Ontario. Okay, so they're one of the Ontario guys. Survey says... Oh, we'll find out. Hold on, everything's loading.
Okay. Rat player.
Rat player. Rat player endearing.
Looks like sorry. What were you saying we were gonna get next?
Oh yeah. So our players are in right here. We've got Toast versus Deltarunner. Two people who definitely, if I've seen, be making the works on that play stuff. Toast, though, I don't know if this is just me, but like I feel like their grind comes in waves. There was someone who at the start of UNI2 I feel like was grinding a lot, and then like was like less so a little bit, but then like still keeping it up. Yeah, not as much. About once a month kind of play. It looks like former Smash player who was is an incredibly strong high. Like is one of those people that early on I was like, oh, this is someone to be looking out for, and can really put in the work. Deltarunner, though, is also a very solid board player, right? We're getting a lot of different board play as well, because you can see they're doing a little bit more of the newer stuff.
Yeah, they're doing a lot more of the newer stuff. I really like the Space 3C. Oh, that's a classic reset, though.
Yeah.
I really like the use of the Space 3C pressure, right? Like, it's something that got buffed in going into UNI2, which... It's a lot easier for him to actually take advantage of the plus frames, and it's also just more plus than it used to be, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah. I like that patience right there. You recognize that the plus frames got shielded, so Toast had their turn after the 2-3-6C. And going to take full advantage of that as well with this confirm. Good roll out, though. We don't want to hold high corner pressure, but we're going to go right back
and
into
he
it.
gets the throw combo. Alright. 2GC's out the corner. Usually you'd see a sim there, but 2GC is also pretty good.
I think 2GC also catches like the potential backdash on the Kimmy right there, right? Because high backdash is pretty good versus the Sim.
That is true. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Nice. Pretty good route.
Yeah. Just keeping it very, very safe right here, like trying to do the more basic stuff. Yeah, it's just like that backdash on the Sim right there.
Yeah, that's a reactable Sim though.
Everything's reactable if you're ready for it, just like Toast. Who's ready to react, close out that round right there. Immediate Reaper into Mortal Slide. Good backdash once again. Toast not want to hold that pressure.
Is Gord 2D6C is actually not that plus, so if you shield it correctly and you're a 5-framer, like, Gord has to make the choice between getting destroyed by backdash or getting counter hit, so...
Rip, yeah, once again, catching that backdash right there with that 2-2-C, not wanting him to hold any of that shimmy. And now trying to make this force function work, trying to close out some of that medium screen space, but Toast immediately closes the gap and retakes that corner pressure. Does pop Celestial, though, into Deltarunner, so something big can happen here.
Yeah, now, this is, like, super hard for Gord, like, getting meter. Even with CS, there's not much you can actually do with it, so I agree with the decision to just immediately spend it. And, I mean, you know, get the mash out and kill here, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But I do agree with spending that Celestial immediately. Gordon needs meter to get out against Hyde.
Yes, yeah. Well, you can, but it just becomes a lot more like risky, right? And you even saw right there being able to find that dash out. And they were looking for a throw combo, but it ended up just being a throw reset in their favor. So good stuff on Deltarunner for taking that first game over Toast right here.
That's a lot of damage. That's crazy. Yep. This is a classic. What does Gord do here, right? Like, this is kind of what I mean. The CS doesn't really help. But now he's got meter.
Yep. Oh, unfortunately, you don't have grid anymore, though, after you tried to just crouch shield some of that pressure that was coming through. Toast is ready for it with that throw extension and the meaty 2FF. The F250 going to close out that round.
Yeah, I guess Deltarunner was making the assumption that Toast would... like, respect C Reaper, that's almost certainly not. Well, you know, happy accident.
Well, we take those where we can get. Unfortunately, Deltarunner not finding the full punish that they were looking for. No extension after the IW as well, so Toast just wanting to try to make sure that they can lock up that cycle, which they will, but they're going to even up those life totals for it.
Alright, I really liked that wake up 2-3-6C. That was actually, like, pretty massive brain from Deltarunner. Like, using the earlier 2-2-C to kind of be, like, you know, you actually have to react to the super flash appropriately. I love that.
Seeing it, CS as well. Good blocks on the overhead this time from Toast. Yeah, space 3C allowing those plus frames once again, like you were mentioning earlier, finds that 2B extension that they want. Now puts them to a one-touch situation. Fake overhead gonna get pressed out though for Toast.
Yeah, I think, especially since I think they also made 2B a little bigger this patch, so situations like that are more common, where what Toast was trying to do was walk back after blocking the 3C in order to make, like, the other options that Gord wants to do there, like, not function as well. But the 2B being a little bit longer now, like, catches that walk back. So, it's really nice.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of those things that you see coming out a little bit more off the Gord pressures. It's something that really only Kyo was doing, I think, in the early stages of UNI2. But the longer that this game has gone on, more Gords have been implementing it into their game plan and really making it work right here.
Oh no, what are you doing on Wake Up?
Oh, we were jumping out. We were trying to just hold up forward like our UNI2 bloodline tells us to do right here, but we'll see us get that shield, be able to have that meter built as well, so now we can safely try to use a reversal to get out and still have something in the pocket coming through. Good blocks on the overhead.
I would like to see Deltarunner actually more aggressively shield for that cycle there. I think this whole sequence could have been prevented if he had done one risky shield. That would not have killed him. So... a little bit of a missed opportunity there to, like, steal away the cycle at the end, which could have easily netted him out of the corner.
Yeah, unfortunately, that might be costing them right here. As Toast now getting a ton of momentum just these last 3 rounds of the game going into their favor. Continuing to lock him down once more. Tried to throw tech out, but Toast was ready to stay in the skies. Beat it out with Pogo. And he should be taking a grip in
Yeah,
here.
I mean, this is just the suffer box for Gordo. Like, this is probably one of his worst matchups.
Oh, delay IW catching the pressure right there from Toast. Gives Deltarunner a chance to gain control of the cycle a little bit. Rusty Nail is going to connect
Not
as well.
optimal, though. That's like 400 damage lost.
But will that be enough right here? Toast has to, find an opportunity to open up once more. Found that big throw. Deltarunner, though, just staying very patient. Did get the cycle and immediately cashing it out because they want to try to make something happen right here.
Oh, no. Oh, but doesn't finish the combo! And Panic techs and dies for it.
Yeah, went for throw instead of trying to anti-air on that option right there. A very, very unfortunate ending for Deltarunner right there. But if you're a Toast fan, that's it's good stocks for you as they'll be moving on forward. It looks like they're going to be fighting Mr. B over on that winner's quarters match to qualify for that top 8 spot winner's side. Yeah.
So, Jack Oat versus Atari. Waldstein, it looks like?
Yeah. Yeah, it does look like Wald. They were playing Lene like in previous events, it looks like, but they are enjoying that Waldstein right here. How do you feel about the Uzuki Wald match?
I've actually
I feel
never
like on
played.
paper it's
I have no idea.
Okay.
I can't imagine
I feel
it's
like
it's gotta be kind of annoying for Uzuki, I would imagine. Like, the claw moves are pretty big, her normals kind of suck, and like, she can't really air fireball very much. So I don't know, this is probably a little suffering.
Yeah, it looks to be suffering right here. It kind of looks like Jack was able to provide every single option. Atari just unfortunately guessed correctly on them back to back to back as soon as they got that corner pressure. Jack, though, staying very patient, being able to shield through the coffin. Oh,
Waldstein just has so many good ways to challenge, like Uzuki. I think if you're Atari, you have to be a lot less greedy.
And you're already seeing that getting caught with the overhead as it's coming through. Swipe CS, stays safe, but we get that dash 360.
Oh, not dead, though.
Yeah. Great shield right at the very end, right there for Atari, able to steal the cycle back. So now sitting at a pixel, they can really make a lot happen right here as long as they are tight in this pressure and they don't give Jack the opportunity to find something like swipes right there to close it out.
I think, especially given that your item is Poison Vial, trying to go for that setup is like insanely greedy. Like, it's not plus. It's only kind of hard to challenge for some characters. Wald definitely not one of them. Like, very suspect decision.
Yeah, but Atari finally seems to be getting their own footing in this game right here. Great roll out there.
Didn't react to the 50
Jack right
frame
there.
cross-up. You'd hate to see it.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Look, it's like 47 frames on that play, okay? You have to rollbacks.
Yeah, there's a lot
Rose
better.
Bomb gets caught with the skewer.
I think it being bomb makes the risk reward a lot better.
Yeah, and I think that's why you saw Atari go for that, right? Being able to try to keep the pressure up. Jack, though, does find a shield into the 360, so able to keep their own party going. And finding these hits, I feel like, every single time, as soon as they're not getting comboed.
Oh no. Must have thought the dash animation was like 360 or something.
Yeah. Oh, caught him with the 1A right there, right at the very end. Jack coming back from the claws of defeat.
I think this doesn't hurt that much. Okay, I'm just wrong. Never mind. This hurts a lot.
Yeah, it's UNI2 wall damage. He gets like 4K off of everything. Great aggressive 236A right there.
Nice side swap.
Atari just knowing like, hey, if I just keep holding pressure like I have been, I'm going to lose. This is what happens again and again and again. Finds a gold throw right there. Wasn't sure if it's TRM through the all the clutter on the screen.
Oh yeah, now it's tightened it up. It should be
There
dead.
we go. Yeah, with CS as well, just can guarantee it should they need to, but they don't even need to worry about it. Take $25, put it back in your pocket. Tari finally getting around.
There's a lot of poison in that combo, and if you guys don't know, like, the poison ticking does not actually count in the combo counter, so the damage numbers are not accurate.
But, like, with Vorpal, it's like 650 or something that would be
It
added on top
varies
of
depending
it?
on the
Yeah.
move that it gets applied with, but...
Is it? Oh, is that how that
Yeah,
works? I actually didn't know that. I thought it was like a
the
stock
poison
number.
vial is like the most, and I think it's like 500 damage, 800 in Vorpal or something like that. So it's a lot. And we got Bunny.
Yeah, but we just EX through Bunny right here. Keep these swipes going. CS, though, is into Atari's favor, so maybe they can find a big hit like that, doing their own J2
I mean,
CS
you know.
impersonation.
Why not? I don't think it's as good as Waltz, but it does exist.
It does the job when it needs to work. Great press right there. Not going to get caught with the overhead this time.
Not quite enough to kill, though.
Yeah, but enough to put you into a scary situation regardless. Any scramble hit will work right there, and Atari finds a way to crack that egg open, tying it up.
It's another person that we've seen multiple people falling for the just hold up forward smash J 3 times.
Yeah. If it ain't broke,
I mean,
don't
you're
fix
right.
it.
Oh, TK2D68 round start. Doesn't get the combo though.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, does find a big grid break though, so gonna be able to save their combo execution skills for the time where they
It's
get
triple
increased damage
poison.
bonus. Does
Yeah.
yeah.
Triple poison is very strong.
Great blocks from Jack right here. As soon as I say that, it's my
Immediately.
fault. You wouldn't have gotten the hit. You wouldn't have gotten hit. I'm so sorry. That's on me.
It's okay. His combo doesn't do any damage. Oh, you're dead.
Yeah. Oh, but this combo will, because the bomb set on top of the poison applied, and Atari taking a perfect, putting themselves 1 health bar away from moving on to that top 8.
Does
winner
have the
side.
bunny next though, which is kind of unfortunate. I feel like the bunny is like not actually that good. I feel like that whiffs very often. So
Yeah, the bunny definitely is the highest risk high reward. So
Yeah.
to speak, right. Like when it works, it's the best
that's
item
true.
in the game.
Bunny
but
throw can
getting
be
it-
quite nice, but sometimes the bunny makes you cry.
Yes. Oh, but right now the only person that's crying is Atari right here, not being able to find that J236C with the poison to connect right here. And Jack gonna take advantage of that, continue the pressure as it goes through. Down once more.
Alright, what's it gonna be? Guess correct? Oh, but you can't really punish that. Yeah. Can't really punish that.
Could you have like B God press?
No, it's just
just to like
sure.
it's too
Yeah.
slow. Okay.
I think a lot of the characters have a hard time punishing it if they don't block it. Should be dead.
Oh, but that is We'll easily close it out with the even just 360C. That wasn't even 720. Because all they needed was that 3-frame window right there. Get the guaranteed punish, and we'll
That's
find
a
another
Waltz Time
one.
Classic. Do it again. You love to see it. Yeah, Wald actually is one of the few characters that also can't really challenge that, the coffin tongue with meter. So, makes Zuki pressure a lot better. Okay. Anti-air gets out. Jack Ode has a lot of meter though, but I don't know that it's like particularly helpful in neutral, but it might be enough to kill here. Or rather, it should be enough to kill here.
Yeah, I think it's one of those like you have a very hard call out option. It gives you the opportunity if you can find body splash clap to like spend the bar to keep yourself plus, but that's really his like best EX or like
Can't really
EX
do,
swipes
like-
to just cover the screen.
Yeah,
with
it's not like
hitbox.
directly a neutral tool, right? It's like
Exactly,
you have to do something
exactly.
else and then you can use it.
Exactly, and you know they just instead decided to save it, knowing that they can just play that neutral as they need to. Got the IW ender, and we'll be moving on to fight Toast, who took it over Mr. B in that top 8 winner side qualifier match. So we've got that half set. NegaReaper also qualified, beating Deled 2-0. So they will be playing the winner of our next match, which is going to be LuFL versus SlushRushSweep.
I love Hilda. I'm a Hilda player, Smile. This matchup is like pretty weird though. I feel like Once Hilda gets meter, it's not too bad, but like prior to Hilda having meter, she's holding a lot. I feel she doesn't really get to start the round off with advantage, which is pretty abnormal for her. Yeah, and that's certainly not gonna help.
Yeah, was trying to find opportunities to just like build some of that early grid right there, but LuFL getting the like best opportunity to punish that accordingly. Not gonna be getting hit by that 50-50 today. LuFL though finds that geyser to connect right here and should be able to get the full round.
Right as you say it. Why do you keep talking?
Yeah. Well, that's on LuFL. That's not on me. Okay.
Alright, I predict Wake Up FF. No. Coward.
No. I like it. Like, hold the respect for later down the line, right? So, like, when that situation potentially comes up again, as LuFL immediately trying to challenge, looking for that shield off that fireball once again, and just going for strike throw immediately afterwards.
I saw the FF.
It's like very, very
I saw it. It's okay. I know. Yes, C2C. Very good. Now this should be a full combo, or not.
Look, see, that one was your fault for bringing the commentator first right here.
I'm not saying you get 200 years to confirm that and it shouldn't be hard, but you do get 200 years to confirm that and it shouldn't be hard. That was a sick pickup, actually. I did not know that that was how you saved that. I get that hit a good bit.
Well, sometimes you gotta learn from the people on screen who are putting in the work, finding these ways to close out these rounds, and SlushRush quickly ties it up.
Preemptive roll at round start. I mean, I guess expecting like B pillar, but it would definitely be B pillar install, which roll is not good into either.
The other thing is you've seen so much up back fireball come from LuFL, and you see that a lot in their sets, that it's like a pretty reasonable like anti-LuFL option right there. Vio just gonna fully whiff, found the counter hit on the 5C, but we couldn't find the full pickup. Instead, just try to make this block string extend as long as possible, so LuFL couldn't use that meter, and we're getting hit by Roomba.
I mean, this is weird. I feel like LuFL is just willfully choosing to lose. Like, it's very apparent that you shouldn't be going into the air as much when SlushRushSweep has meter. Like, it's actively just asking you through a game plan away.
Yeah, I do know that's like, it is just kind of like core to how LuFL plays, is trying to make that air-to-air style work, but I think in this exact specific situation with how SlushRush wants to be playing into it, they've been just playing very, very solid, taking that.
Yeah, I mean, Hilda has no impetus to take that bait, so I don't know. I get it's like, it can be hard to change up your playstyle on the fly though, so like I get that.
Yeah.
So just something to think about.
Yeah, and hopefully it's something that LuFL thinks about as we get further into this set.
Oh, that's such a hard confirm. You actually have to do like a super delayed 5BB into 3C. It's super hard. So I don't blame SlushRushSweep for dropping that.
Good shields on LuFL's end right there to be able to have pin not connect, so they weren't able to just like reset that pressure off. A little bit freer right here. Good combo, but no full extension right there as we get that ground bounce on the wall.
Yeah, that's the 3C there as well that would have worked. But you can kind of see some like really, like LuFL's forcing some really awkward hits that are kind of annoying to confirm.
Good blocks right here off that pressure. Great shield as well, able to find an opportunity to challenge. LuFL not opting to side swap though, just keeping it very, very calm and just wants to go to the mid swing. That's where they've had their most success, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters too much either way for either of these characters. The next hit probably goes to the corner anyway. Like, neither character really cares too much about having corner.
Good back tech out of the Roomba right there. Great recognition, and we just use that smart steer ender to close it out, knowing that that's all we needed. And LuFL trying to fight back.
It's okay to cry. I know that that Roomba was supposed to combo, and that it didn't, and you were expecting it to.
Yeah.
I know that. It's okay. And now you're stuck in the corner. Took 4K, you're sad. Nice 3B, though.
Oh, uh-oh.
Set Bloom? A little too high on that 50-50, actually. Just gave away a little too early.
LuFL recognizing that, having that patience to be able to just like continue to set up the pressure a little bit more, trying to stagger out right now. SlushRush though not ready for it, tying it up 1-1.
I wonder if SlushRushSweep was mashing force function, because that's probably what I would do there, and also get counter hit by him. Oh no, 2C just hard losing in line.
It happens to the best of us.
Oh no, no punish?
Oh. Yeah, even LuFL finding a stray hit afterwards in that scramble, which tends to have been going into their favor a little bit more as the set has progressed forward. SlushRush has to be a little bit more careful. Gonna get tossed right here, but it's fine. We open up the screen spacing a little more.
Nice. Oh, this setup? Yeah, I respect it. I think honestly he was trying to bait a VO. Or like something similar.
Yeah, like VO potentially was trying to look for like Snipe Geyser out or something, but instead we had that install at full screen, able to find that last hit to work out. LuFL doesn't let these mind games that SlushRush has been trying to bring onto the table get to them too much.
And you just have to wait out the install if you're Hilda here. Like, it's not worth pressing anything.
Does finally get opened up after this pressure gets looped again and again and again, but it is out of install, so a lot less damage available on table. Has that CS as well, finds a two-way starter.
Doesn't go for the side swap ender. Oh no, does actually. Okay, I thought he used too many bounces, but apparently not.
Yeah, I think they, like, with the CS right there, it allowed for the hit stun to be able to just, like, be saved a little bit more. Bounces, though, was definitely fine.
Yeah, not enough.
Oh no! It's fine. It's fine. We have to do a little reset right at the very end. Try to keep it a little cheeky, but instead we spent 200 meter in that combo. We still have 150 to go into the next round.
I love the idea because I personally am a huge fan of 421A CS or 236C type stuff on Hilda around start, but it like doesn't work against Bonon at all. She like accidentally beats it way too easily.
And Dio's out right there.
You see?
Opts for Roomba, but actually still wins the cycle right at the very end. I was not expecting that.
It's the Dio.
Yeah.
Nice assault. Gets the micro dash routing. Is gonna lose this cycle though.
Yeah, but it's fine. Oh, I really like that Gloom right there to actually go backwards. With the amount of times that LuFL is just back tech to try to do something out of that situation, was a really smart option to cover it. LuFL didn't bait into it, but that then allows you to just run some good old-fashioned Hilda pressure right from the get-go and take it 2-1 to move on to that winner.
It also covers roll forward there. That way, the Gloom doesn't accidentally trigger the roll, so that you can get like a punish that doesn't suck. Because Hilda getting a throw punish on an activated roll is like gotta be one of the worst feelings. Like it is not a good reward.
It is not a good reward, but do you know what's a great reward? Something that our players have access to, which is the Matcherino. For those of you who don't know, ! Matcherino. There are 50 total codes to claim from the get-go right here, but there are 39 left, somewhere around there. That's a lot of codes, and I know there's more of you watching. I know there's a lot of you available on Discords to claim these codes as well, so please claim them as quickly as possible. It is free money to add to these prize pools. The players always appreciate it, and as well as, you know, us commentators and the tournament staff and everybody. We all love free money going to these people who put into the work. You can also use, if you're curious about the bracket, !bracket will always show that information, as well as !beach, which allows you to take a look at the brackets for Boston Blue Beach episode 2025, which is going to be coming up on July 19th and 20th, the regional in Waltham, Massachusetts. It's going to be having every single cool game that Boston Blue Beat is known for. That's right, we got Blaze Blue, we got all the gears, we got Street Fighter, Fatal Fury, we got Sailor Moon, we got Rival of the Aether 2, Smash Ultimate, UNI2 of course, Melty Blood Current Code, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, a mystery game bracket. There's also a bunch of side games that just got announced over like the last couple days. I know like every game under the sun is basically available at Boston Blue Beach episode. If you can still sign up now, I think there's a little bit of late registration still available. Try to get in there if you can. If you can't, make sure that you're there next year, because this event is killer. As well as, you know, with the beach episode stuff that flows into it is the online weeklies that come through for Boston Blue Beat. They're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 p.m. EST every single day. We got BlazBlue on Mondays, Double X Accent Core Plus R on Tuesdays, and UNI2 on Wednesdays, as you should know if you are here. And lastly, we have a very, very special event down in North Carolina, SQXL Burst La Burst. It's going to be a wonderful 2-day tournament that's brought to you by the North Carolina Anime FGC, located in downtown Durham at the Durham Convention Center. It is featuring a bunch of really, really cool games that are available. You've got Guilty Gear, which is something that like the North Carolina guys really put a lot of work into. You got Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. You've got the French Bread games. It's going to be very, very sick. That's going to be happening September 27th, 28th, 2025. And you can check that out at start.gg/SQXL. Of very exciting things happening coming through this year. A lot of really cool events. Make sure that you're checking all of them out, but also make sure that you're checking out this event as we are getting down into our top 8. We got Jack Oat back up versus Toast.
Right into it. I gotta imagine Walt Sen's probably not a fan of this matchup.
It's like not as bad as you'd think. Walt is a character that I feel still to this day is criminally underrated in Undernight. This character just is something that I remember Breaker Day said this to me like 3 years ago back in UNICLR, which is if you're just right 100% of the time, you will win every game.
Yeah.
And Jack Oat has shown that in the previous sets. As long as you are correct, you will just keep winning.
Yeah, I think especially this version of Wald is pretty solid. But
definitely like very, very strong, has tools to deal with every option. The unfortunate downside though is once we get into these pressure situations, your fast options are very limited in their range, and Toast knows that they can take advantage of these staggers a little bit more to try to catch them baiting and allow them to take these rounds.
Gets hit by the classic Waltz-on round start there, I feel. That's a ton of damage.
Yeah, classic tick throw set right there. Gonna be able to get a great shield off that jumping right there. Something that we didn't see in the previous sets that we've had with Jack Oat, as they've been just letting that overhead pressure rock again and again. Toast though not letting them have it. Not gonna let them have it with the 2-2 ace.
I feel like trying to shield that though is like pretty spooky, because if you mess up, like it's gonna hurt. You're gonna feel really bad.
But once again, as the walled opponent just has to be right, make them wrong.
Very true. Not quite enough to kill, but yeah, just DP on the CS.
Yeah, and now this is very scary, right? Because you don't have that health to try to eat a hit off this pressure, and you have to be right. Good roll right there with the anti-air up the 4B. That was clean, Jack. That was
so
clean.
Surprised that he was able to roll after that green shield. I thought for sure that green shield kind of ruined his chances of getting out.
Yeah, so did I. But then, like, as soon as that CS flashed through, I was just like, okay. He really found ways to make it work. Toast, though, does not let that little accident at the very end get to them right there. And he's continuing the dominance right now on the Jack.
Tries to do a little shimmy, but gets hit by Wald's massive guard thrust, so... Not quite enough to kill, though. No meter, so, it will die to a throw or any hit at all.
Yeah, it puts you in a one-touch situation, but Jack has been in this exact same spot 3 times in a row, basically, in this set so far, and was able to find a way to make it work once, but they can't find a way to make it twice. It's going to be Toast taking game number 1.
Yeah, I feel like for Jack, that was just a little unfortunate. I don't think that there was necessarily anything, like, too egregiously bad, right? Just got unlucky on a couple of scrambles and lost for it.
Yeah, I mean, like your grappler versus brawler Shoto man, right? Like those situations just came up into Toast's favor as they naturally come. But when Jack's right, they're very right. Like once again, finding that dash 360 right there.
Oh no!
Oh, big body splash right there with the CS as well. Gonna be able to add a ton of damage. Throw them into that corner once again. Now Toast has to be very scared.
Oh, tries to get the cycle at the with that cheeky assault.
Jack Oat just like shielding bad and just like immediately throwing it away. You hate to see it, but able to reversal out anyway.
Love the patience right there, just willing to just commit to these dash blocks. Looks like they try to chicken out or potentially tried to like buffer a 720 or something right there, but instead we just find the anti-air, gets the pickup as well. Good backdash right there from Toast. Now gonna be able to hold the loop and clap pressure right there, but once again, just buffer that 360C as soon as Toast leaves any gap available.
The Waldstein Classic. It's not even bad damage, I feel. It's like pretty solid.
No, the downside is you lose out on screen space, right?
Yeah,
that's the big thing.
That's true.
But with how close he was to winning the cycle right there, that you would have been able to have the opportunity to just delay a little bit, then you get to go for like broadcast CS, you get to go for swipe CS, you get to go for a lot of different tools available on deck. Fortunately, not able to use those tools to close out that round right here. Not able to find the anti-air either as Toast holds 9 and gets out. Backdashes out of the 360C. Doesn't want to get opened up by it yet again. A lot of grid building up for Jack, though. Good tech out of right here.
Doesn't matter.
Jack does pop it at the very end, but it does not matter as he ties it up right now to 1-1. Remember, we're still in that 2 out of 3 territory. Players do not have these games to make adaptations like they will later on because they're fighting for that spot right now.
I love it when players ice for a little bit.
Oh, I'm the most pro icing your opponent out person in bracket, like 100% of the time. I tell the story all the time, and you'll understand this. I yelled at CG for a year to just take breaks in between games, and then within the first year he decided to start doing that. He got
yeah. I don't think it was just you. I think it was a lot of people in the area were like, "No, you gotta just take a second."
Yeah, but it can really help. No, like it just resets your, lower that heart rate a little bit, just calm down. You can focus in, and Toast utilizing that time, take a deep breath, and find all these new ways to open Jack up, not giving them any amount of pressure like they've had in these previous.
I mean, you can see exactly it, right? This round has been all Toast, right? Has 200 meter, didn't need to spend anything, got it perfect. Like, it's a really good start to being on set point here.
But we've seen this happen with Jack in the previous set with Atari, right? They ran into a very similar situation and were still able to clutch it out. They do not let those heavy momentum swings get to them too much. And you're already seeing it right here, finding a good early hit, finding the cycle to go into their favor with a ton of grid.
That was actually such good footsies from Jack out there to get that counter hit. Like, I don't want to give Wald players credit for footsies, but like, that was kind of nice.
Oh, but we will give him credit for the reset right there, adding exactly enough to kill. And now it is match point. It is anyone's game. Anything can happen. Full resources on deck. 6-6 gonna go into the Hyde player's favor. And now gonna be locking Jack down to the corner. We've seen them get put in the situation, get opened up pretty cleanly right here. We'll have to see if Jack can find ways to get out right now.
It just sends it, I respect it.
Yeah.
Not gonna get the cycle.
We haven't seen Toast go for these like big shimmies or something in the corners right here, so Jack really getting a lot of utility after going for the wake up reversal command grab.
Yeah, I think the reason why is because Toast has done a good job of like doing things on wake up to like discourage explicitly that, right? I think Toast got like guard thrusted on a shimmy once and was like, I'm never shimmying again. Which is definitely not the way to approach it, but are you dead?
I think you are, with Waldman IW scaling right here at the very end, off the big counter hits. Yes, as well. That's enough to do it. Jack out off that VO bait at the very end, finds the way to close it out, taking it 2-1.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, you said it perfectly, right? Like, start of that last game, right? Toast had ice and came out swinging, perfect 200 meter, and Toast able to turn it around. Flip the momentum.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing with Jack, right? I think this is like Wald players especially are the Wald players that can make it this far into bracket, right? They're very good at just not letting what happened in the game affect them at all.
Oh no.
What, you don't want to see Hilda versus Tsurugi?
Chat.
we've got our next match. We have SlushRushSweep versus NegaReaper coming up here. Reaper, being one of those people that has put a lot of work in with this Tsurugi, has definitely like cemented themselves as someone who's like really grinding this character and really pushing them forward a whole lot.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, is SlushRush ready for? This is a matchup that, if you can judge by Casey's tone, is something that Hilda players generally don't like to be seen.
I think actually a lot of Hilda players like it, but I think that they're wrong. So I am a little abnormal in that one, but NegaReaper actually was a Grand Blue Vasaraga player, so this is a very fitting character because they're both cringe in the exact same way.
Who did Reaper play in Clear? Because I know they were a Clear player.
Board, I'm pretty sure. But off to a really good start
Probably.
here for SlushRushSweep. This is kind of what you have to do. Like, get the momentum and pray you never lose it, because the second he presses FF, you're sad.
Yeah, you can already see Reaper as being like very cautious with his FF presses, waiting for SlushRush to try to be able to bring some counterplay. And here you go. Force function has been pressed, and now Reaper gets to control this close range screen space. Good
Really nice
2A
match.
right there.
Gets the side swap.
Yeah. Maybe able to get the cycle as well. Opens them up with the overhead as well off that gloom set.
New spin.
It's going to be a great
Yep.
party.
You could have killed there if you knew the double extension, but that's okay. Gets the job done anyway.
Yeah, well, it's even more beneficial. You made Reaper spend 100 meter right there trying to bionic arm out of the corner when he didn't end up
I
working
love
out.
5B no cancel. It's so bad, but I love doing it. It's actually so good. Yeah, you'll never win this, this concentrate race.
Yeah, that's why you saw SlushRush try to just like skewer them out right there to blow them up for doing it, but it was still a little too late. Reaper found the opportunity to jump into not proc Roomba as well. And now you're holding Tsurugi damage in the corner. This is not the space you want to be in.
Armored air normal, you know, beating out an anti-air.
Yeah, armored air normal into armored low into one of the faster overheads available. And that's Reaper quickly taking that round into their favor as soon as they close that distance.
Yeah, gets the Roomba out. Although it's gonna ruin the combo here. Yeah, 2.6. You love to see it.
Yeah, coming with the full screen low right there, trying to open them up. Side swaps are good blocks from SlushRush, though. Not going to get opened up just yet.
I really love that
Trying to have
SlushRushSweep is like fearing for his life. Like, I can't shield ever, because it's absolutely the correct decision.
Popping that VO immediately out of there. Wants to have to reset to this kind of pressure sequence, right? As long as they can keep that tempo to go into their favor, they can, like you were saying earlier, they can take this match potentially. And there we go. Finally finds an opportunity to open them up through that force function pressure.
Yeah, it is kind of scary now. The Hilda didn't have CS or meter, but you're holding. You have no escape now.
Yeah, just eat a full grip right there.
Oh. That character doesn't have any lows, so mashing FF is like pretty spooky.
Yeah, but SlushRush knew that that's what they needed to do to potentially get through. Skewer right now just trying to control that screen distance, finds a big hit, 20 seconds. Yeah, wasn't ready for it. And now it's 20 seconds left on the clock to try to just, like, lame them out. But if Reaper is right once, is able to close the distance enough in these next 10 seconds, they could potentially do it. But SlushRush takes game
I really
number
like the
one.
patience on that Roomba set. It's very easy to get caught up in like doing that Roomba set into doing like a 6-6B, 2-2B, gapless, like 50-50 thing. But they're like the Tsurugi player is definitely gonna try and do something. So I definitely agree with the waiting.
And SlushRush doing a good job, and doing a good job of grid breaking as well, finding another big opening. This is the recipe for success that's been working for them throughout this whole set so far.
Yeah, that setup's messed up. Oh, drops the combo though.
Oh no! But it's fine. We got a big health lead. Wow.
Yeah. That's still the undernight
Okay.
too. Yep, that's still the undernight 2 moment. Okay.
That's fine. We just DIY 50-50 them, but now we unfortunately weren't able to finish our plate. But Roomba will do it
So
for
Roomba
us.
is a low. You can't.
Can't force function through a Roomba. motion sensors will go off. It will catch you. It will stop you. Defensive Bloom right here, not allowing Reaper to gain a lot of forward movement. Does catch him with the quick assault JC right there.
Yeah, not a ton of damage, but you do get Oki, and that is a pretty good amount of damage. But the throw Oki is kind of middling, but you should be dead here.
3 buttons into 3 buttons.
And not even meterless dead.
Yeah, meterless dead, but they could have gone even further if they needed it. Slush Rush ending it with a perfect, taking it 2-0. And they're going to be facing off against Jack in that winner's final spot.
That's a fun matchup. I like that matchup a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, Hildewald. Hildewald is always a fun
I think it's like barely Hilda winning. But it's like, I don't know, it plays out in a really cool manner, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely one of those cooler matches to look out for. So that is our winner's side.
freeGRDnocomplain being a Yuzu is so good.
I don't. Who is freeGRDnocomplain?
That's what they entered under. That's awesome. I love that. This matchup is also really cool, by the way. I think it's like this like really fun like full screen footsies type deal. And it's like both characters, if either character gets the touch and gets to start pressure, they both make the other character miserable. So it's really fun. And you can see that one dude trying to get Vorpal here, right? Because Vorpal Nails is really, really useful in this matchup. Being able to like actually contest slashes a lot better.
I actually have no idea who this is. They literally changed their name every time.
There you go. It's caught jumping on Wake Up, probably, because people are afraid of a sim for some reason. Yeah, I agree with being very cautious there. There's no reason to push it. You have the life lead, so... not quite dead. Yeah, I'm glad that that one dude did not spend all 200 there.
Yeah, and doing a very, very just solid job of like shutting down a lot of what freeGRDnocomplain wants to be doing at this time.
Well, yeah, nice mash. That's that RPS I was talking about, right? That one dude got 260 shielded, so chose to do 2C, which loses to Yuzu just mashing a 5 frame. So.
And just the patience once again not allowing. Yeah, as soon as you try to like move forward on any of that screen space, trying to shield out Yuzu's pressure, freeGRDnocomplain just staying very, very patient right here.
I understand why you would assault there, but you really need to be looking at her marks more before you do that. It's otherwise super risky. The kind of buttons that she wants to throw out in a frame trap there are going to catch you assaulting kind of naturally. Ronstar 4B is interesting. Maybe expecting Grim Reaper because of the meter.
Yeah, expecting Reaper, like sometimes you'll even see like Mortal Slide like round start coming out from that one dude. In a lot of these situations, because it is a little bit faster than I think Yuzu like immediately going into stance.
It is faster. Yeah.
So I think we're just waiting for something like that, but that one dude was already on that next layer with the charge 5C to blow him up for it. freeGRDnocomplain doesn't let that get to them, but they will let that C Reaper hit right here, and also that Rusty Nail to connect. That one dude gonna be keeping it simple with 3 buttons into 3 buttons like
that was not simple. Did you not see him do the 3C under cross up IW?
It was kind of, that was raw. I think 3 buttons and 3 buttons would have killed regardless, but we instead just made it a little bit more.
Wanted the side swap just in case it didn't kill when there was 100 life left.
But you have to make sure that you win on the same side as your character, so you can go back to the same spot in the next round, right? That's how that works.
Exactly how that works.
Yeah, so true, so true. Just like this pressure's been true. Throw's gonna get whiffed though, so this allows the Yuzu to get out of the corner right here and tech out.
I mean, this is kind of what I mean, right? I think Yuzu has a rough time dealing with board pressure, and especially without meter. But like, her buttons for challenging this specific range don't exist.
and you're dead.
Yep. Keeping it tight right here. That one dude has just been like very good at running this like this core gameplay that I think he's just like shutting off like freeGRDnocomplain almost holistically.
Nice. Realizes you can whip punish that with 236C. Yeah, that's actually a minus 3C, so the bait there is to do the Hanzo Gonzo, but I don't think people should be getting hit by that. At least not non-counter hit. I think if you get counter hit by it, you know, that's just unlucky.
Yeah.
Nice match.
Oh, that one, yeah. That one was getting a lot of mileage off of just like ripping these 2Cs as you saw them like try to get out of the situation, but ready to be able to get through it, ready to spot dodge through the Rusty Nail that's been blowing up a couple times in a row here.
I mean, that was a read. I mean, there's literally no way it was a reaction, but it looked sick.
Yeah, it did look sick. It looks stylish. That's freeGRD coming back, trying to make sure to keep that tournament dream alive.
I like this, doing the 2-2B round start instead of 63 VCS. It completely dodges the RPS that Reaper does.
freeGRD, you know, able to actually stay alive right there, was trying to find an opportunity to guard thirst through, but the CSM didn't allow that to fully connect right there.
It's really good recognition from freeGRDnocomplain. Like, attempted to whiff punish the whiff nails, but just a little too slow.
Another good 2A right here. We are 30 seconds into this round and haven't been able to find like a major hit come through until just then. So these players wanting to go the distance though. freeGRDnocomplain finding another good opportunity to keep this quarter pressure going.
Hey, aren't these old routes? These are clear routes, I'm pretty sure.
They look like clear routes. Oh, but that was some clear movement right there, trying to make that 214C hit that one dude into the corner right here. Not able to find the full extension that we were looking for. Vio gonna work out as well.
Don't press buttons in the user with Vio. It's just not worth it. Oh, what a good reaction. That was so smart from that one dude. freeGRDnocomplain just basically throwing the life lead away for free there. So you love to see that if you're that one dude.
And you're trying to like style on him a little bit more with use of that like 4B parry right there, but unfortunately not going to be working out.
I think freeGRDnocomplain is an older player because Yuzu 4B is kind of bad, and the only kind of player that would use it like that is someone that played when 4B was broken. So,
well, they will unfortunately not be playing in this bracket anymore, as that one dude took the set 2-0, knocking them out of the loser's side, and they will be moving on forward to fight. They're going to be fighting Reaper on the loser's quarters match. And it looks like we are still potentially waiting on one of our last loser side match. Yuri Ark is sitting in there taking the set 2-1 over Deled. But we've got LuFL versus Yona sitting in the loser side. That's a weird loser side match that happened before.
I would imagine that is definitely not expected.
No, definitely not. I mean, like, Jack has just been kind of on a tear this whole time, right? Like,
the wall's been looking pretty clean.
Like, you know, the wall's looking clean. Took the set 2-0 over Yona in the winner side early, and then it's just been like 2-1-ing people, and you know, staying tight with that Waltz team. Also, from a quick look, freeGRDnocomplain was Briefcase.
I don't know who that is, but
older player.
I mean, that tracks. Right. Like, all I had to do was like look at the gameplay, and I was like, this person definitely played an older version of the game.
Yeah, look, but I mean, Grant has been doing EL combos for like 50 years, and he can still top 8 majors. So you know what? If it works, it works.
I'm not one to talk because, like, literally, if I've played, like, I don't update routes like ever. So I'm doing laund routes that were clear 1.0. Like,
and some of those don't even work anymore, and you still
I'm I'm not one to flame someone for that because I definitely understand not like updating routes. Right, it's really hard to like rewire muscle memory. Especially if you're like coming back after a long time and you're just like, I don't know, you're not like super, or you're just like trying to get reacquainted, right? So going back to your old habits and old muscle memory is like pretty normal.
Yeah, it is, especially within like if you're coming from an older version of Uni, like not even Claire, if you're
Like
coming
ST,
from,
yeah.
ST in the
Because that's when
UNI2,
4B was
it's
good,
like,
so...
yeah. It is always a nightmare. But yeah, we are still waiting on our last match of LuFL versus Yona. They're putting in the grind.
Going
We're going 99.
Yeah.
This is how you know it's CLR players, right? We're going 99 seconds every single time. Round start dash blocking between each other, which is also weird because like I feel like Yona's play is actually like Yona versus LuFL are like two very aggressive players. I'm like saying,
yeah, I'm like that doesn't sound right literally at all. But you know, pop off, like,
but yeah, pop up. Like they're putting in the grind. You know, sometimes these sets go the distance right that you've two unstoppable forces colliding into each other. But as a reminder, while we're waiting for our players to finish up so we can get through the rest of this top 8, we still have 29 Matcherino codes to claim. Claim those codes. Please do it. I'm begging you at this point. I'm on. Please claim this. Please claim these codes. You can sign in with your Twitter account. You can claim these codes. I know y'all have Twitter accounts. I can see it. I see it all. As well as just our usual reminders, please make sure to check out Boston and Blue Beach episode. That's going to be coming July 18th through the 20th in Waltham, Massachusetts. The last day for late registration is July 6th. So you've got like, what, a week and a half? Something like that? You've got, just about a week and a half left to register. If you're in the Northeast area, you can still make it. You can still register. If you're anywhere in the world, you can still register. You might just pay a little bit more for your flight. But make it through. Come to Boston Blue Beach episode. It is going to be a fantastic event. I unfortunately won't be there, but I will be sitting my butt at home and I'll be watching it the whole weekend. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. It was on my episode. And then just like life happened, so I wasn't able to make it last minute. But it's one of my favorite events. It was an event that I watched all of last year, and I was like, wow, this is sick. This is godlike. And I'm sad that I'm not making it this year, but I hope that everybody will be enjoying it as we get on further. And it looks like our match has completed. Yona does take the set 2-1, and they will be fighting Yuri Ark with the Eltna.
I mean, I don't see too many Wagners, so I don't really know how this goes. I mean, I imagine Eltnam is probably like pretty fine into this matchup. Eltnam's buns are kind of crazy.
It's pretty even, I want to say.
It seems reasonable to me.
Like, your two mids dispensers that are trying to stagger pressure strike throw each other, that both have really good options to deal with each other's staggers and strike throws that they want to bring to the table, right? Like two of the craziest 5As in the game. You have a really good 5B versus a really good 2B. You have like abilities to reset pressure. The only big thing is I think Eltnam's like pressure resets are better, right?
I mean, Eltnam also has 660, so
yes, Eltnam 660, which like I don't know if. I feel like Yuri can be ready for it. They were able to get through Deled, which basically the entire character of Linnae is an Eltnam 660. So,
you know, that's kind of spitting. Linnae is broken, but you know, I don't know that it's quite the same. But I get what I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, there we go. We're good. But our players are just getting, finalizing themselves, getting ready at this point. Yona, after a 22-minute first to 2 set. Definitely, needed a little bit of time to breathe because definitely some crazy stuff happened that we'll have to, hack into LuFL's computer to figure out exactly what was going through. Yeah, because I mean, if a set went that long, I want to see what happened. Because something crazy had to have happened, and it's got to be cool. But yeah, Yona, since we haven't had Yona on stream yet. For those of you who are unaware, Yona is a very, very, very strong undernight player. Someone who I feel. Did they pick up the game in Claire?
No, I'm pretty sure.
Or are they UNI2?
It was supposed to be UNI2 Zoomer. I don't know though.
It might be one of the UNI2 Zoomers.
Could be NegaReaper. I have no idea.
It's a name I feel like I was floating around. I needed someone to correct me in my Discord DMs. But like definitely on the up and up, like, and has been putting in a lot of time, putting in a lot of grind to playing all the wide variety of strike throw characters that are available on deck. They started off with Seth and they were playing Wagner for a bit. Now Like, I've seen them on Carmine, I've seen them on Hyde, Landrekia, they're playing Eltnum right here, and they're now going to be able to know what this character wants to be doing, able to find an early grid break right here, and some of these pressure sequences going into their favor. Big 5C press as soon as Yuri Ark tried to dash block up.
Was that route how that's supposed to go? I mean, that's like from the drop, obviously, but like, you know,
yeah.
because that looks kind of weird for an Elden route.
Like I said, the Yona Eltnum is not something I'm super familiar with, so it may be newer on deck and maybe bringing out some spice that we're not aware of.
It's a day one Eltnum. That makes sense. I understand now. That, you know.
Yep. But hey, if you can make it to top 8 loser side with your day one Eltnum, that's pretty good. That shows you may have played a game of Undernight or two.
Does it? You know,
Potentially.
It probably says you understand the game at least a decent amount.
Yeah.
Alright. Just jumping out of pressure.
Bringing up the Scrap Vermilion mix right here, coming through an Undernight. Now, just, yeah, trying to play the concentration war, not wanting to go for any big strikes because they knew that 2-1-4 was going to be coming in from Yuri Ark. Finds a side swap over there, not all the way into the corner. No punish on the VO, though. Yuri Ark was not ready for it.
Does Wagner 6B punish VO? Or do you need to shield it?
Yeah. No.
That's what I thought.
Wagner 6B is like an 8-frame normal. It's busted.
Yes.
Yeah, but we do still find the hit. That's 8.
That is pretty fast.
Yeah. That's good tech out right there. Yeah, 6-6C into the gunshot, though. We green shielded it, though, so it still ended up being Yona's turn by a lot. Celestial does go to Yuri Ark. But we find the shield. We don't find the full extension right here, and we will find the throw. Yuri Ark tying it up.
Oh, round start 6-6C, let's go. Doesn't finish the combo, though. You hate to see that.
The partial charge FF right there, trying to catch Yona lacking. We did see them just react to the stand-up, though, not trying to challenge.
Oh,
and now you're getting blown up by the full charge force function.
Okay, I was about to say, doesn't that combo, isn't it supposed to hurt?
It is, but it's one of those that you kind of need, like, you want buffs preemptively to really make it hurt, and Yuri didn't have any right going into it. I think you could have like gotten more, but in the pressure, just keep it simple, get this corner knockdown going, because you knew that they wanted to jump out like they have been a couple times, find that 3C to connect, and that's Yuri Ark taking.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it worked out, right? And you know, still did respectable damage, and also ended up with Yona in the corner, so you know, it's hard to be too upset about that. Yeah.
All very, very solid.
All right, so I imagine we're going to see a character swap here. You know, I don't know Yona, but I know that when I play subs in bracket, I usually swap off after I lose a game on them. Not just, but like I'll play them for other sets, but like the first game that I lose in that set, I'll swap off of them.
Yeah, and you're already seeing it. They want to bring out the Wagner.
Yeah, and especially given that this is losers, Yona probably doesn't want to like bring out a different.
Yeah. Because they can smell all those wonderful Matcherino codes that are still left to be claimed. And go like, God, I wish I could have all of those if we claimed all those codes! ! Matcherino. But yeah, swapping over to the Wagner right here. Yuri Ark though still letting their core game plan work. Yona wanted to let that DP rip, but Yuri Ark said, "Nah, we're keeping it tight. We're keeping it calm right here, and we're gonna have to hold you down to the corner."
I really liked that DP. That was really funny.
But a big grid break right here, as we saw Yuri Ark choose to not take a buff right there, instead trying to go for the concentrate. So Yona getting a ton of reward now to not allow them to have that on deck. Another good throw set right here.
That shield almost robbed the cycle.
Oh, that would have been it. That would have been the 200 damage, one hit BDP route right there, but unfortunately couldn't get it to work. Big 3C right here, though. Yona being like, yeah, you can do that last set, I'll do it right here.
Oh wait, this is a red beat combo. That's not right.
Yeah. Excellent little drop right there, but we just challenged with the run up 2A. Yona quickly taking that round right there.
Both players run start 6-6C, but Yona doing it faster.
Good tech out. Yeah, tech once again, but this time you're getting locked in the corner. Baiting up the 3C with the full charge JFF, but couldn't get the full extension to work right there, so Yuri Ark instead finding the JACS right there. Just only able to go for the JA extension right there, so not as much damage available on deck.
Counter throw, but back throw instead of like throwing into the corner. So
yeah, always very scary. We're resetting. Neither player
yeah,
wants to
I'm
use
like,
the
we
corner.
haven't seen the corner in so long.
Yeah, it's fine. Yuri Ark still finds a way to close it out right there. Has to de-spend the 200 meter, but it's one of those like, are they afraid of like a round start? KJF trying to.
No, I like it.
236A or
It's
something.
broken. That's
Or
good.
like 66C. It's yeah, but it's full charge. It wasn't even tap. It was just like the full charge thing.
Is that full charge on like guard point or something? Am I just thinking of Sarugi and like blinded by hatred?
Yeah, you're having some PTSD from the Ruby.
Yeah, makes sense.
There you go. Good solid damage right here, putting you into a one-touch situation, basically. But Yuri getting their chance to get out, able to steal this corner pressure now. Like we were saying in the mid-screen this whole time, I think we'll be sitting right here for most of the
That was a really good shield. Basically makes it to where Yuri Ark can't really reset pressure off of the shield card.
Yep. Oh, still gets the cycle even after that post-Vortex situation. Good blocks from Yona.
Didn't shield that time though, so you don't get to just smash out.
And now it is one-touch situation for Yona. Good tech out. Not going to get TRM'd right here. The DP comes through.
ADP?
You risked it all. That was ADP, yeah. Did they think they had the cycle or something right at the very end? Trying to go like ADP CS? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. An unfortunate DP though at the very end. Could not close it out for Yuri Ark. And that's going to be Yona.
We're going to see a swap to Landrakia? Is that what's about to happen?
Oh no, that is the one. Sorry, my apology. I thought that was everything's a blur. Too much Wagner on screen at this point. No, we don't.
Are we just going back to to ice? Alright, that's fair.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah, lock it in.
I respect icing. You know, I already mentioned it. So.
Yeah. Well, when the match is this hot, sometimes you gotta ice it out. You know. There we go. Yeah, and I'm immediately trying to call it the 60 once again, but just throwing out that 6B stop sign in that neutral after both moves were whiffing in the early stages.
Smashed on. No side swap route though. Oh, that's not amazing damage either.
No, but it guarantees you the cycle, right? Which I think Yuri Ark, when Yuri Ark has had the cycle, it's been very advantageous for them, right? It's what they've been able to use to close out on a lot of these situations.
Yeah, that's true.
So. They definitely find themselves very reliant on cycle. Like you're seeing a lot of they choose to end a lot of their routes in the 5B smart steer, even when they could be getting buffs off of it. But Yona wants to be able to just take this round as quickly as possible. Yep.
Gets shimmied into dying. You hate to see it.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us right here. J4FF, these players have whiffed J4FF like 32 times and only one of them has ever connected.
Doesn't get hit.
Full charge on that fourth. Yeah, but no punish either afterwards. There we go. Yeah, Yona has the UNI2 corner routing as well.
Gets DP'd on.
Rip that DP. Yuri Ark really been trying to make that DP work, and like I think trying to get into the read where they can find that ADP with the 200 meter that they have on deck later on work into their favor. Yeah, concentrate once again, just guarantees themselves the lock cycle. JACS into the J follow-up. We love the Giga scaled IW as well, but it does put you into a single charge throw.
You're not allowed to get double charge there, right? Like that's
no!
illegal.
Yeah, you're not. You can get sword buff off of basically any knockdown. Shield buff is only off of like some specific ones though. But if you think your opponent's not respecting you, or they're going for like delay tech, expecting you to try to go for like a quick like strike throw set afterwards, that doesn't help. Like I see the opportunity, but Yona just ready for it, ready to punish accordingly. Unfortunately, did not close that one out at the very end right there, so had to play one more health bar.
This one is off to a really good start though. 4.1, stuck in the corner.
Yep. Oh, try to check with 2A. 2B will connect in that second 2A challenge right there. Yuri are getting counter hit on their own attempt to tech out of that combo, allowing Yona to take it with a near perfect. Going to be moving 2-1 to fight Toast.
It was a pretty good set.
Yeah. Yona, I feel like I want to see more of that Yona outfit, right? I feel like that was a...
That didn't look ready for viewing, is what I'll say.
Maybe not, but I could... They were in the kitchen, right? Definitely in the kitchen, ingredients on the counter. It's just like, was that stove on, right? Were we fully cooking? Maybe not, but there's a vision, there's a game plan, and I want to see more of it.
What are we getting next?
It looks like our next match that we should be having when we moving back up to the top of loser side should be NegaReaper versus that one dude. So we get to see Gordo versus
This
Saru.
is like so sad if you're Gord. I'm sorry. This is not going to be very fun for that one guy, I think.
But it could be. Potentially.
You know, you have a heart filled with whimsy and hope.
The joy in my eyes is still there. I have that sparkle of glint of hope. But maybe that one dude also has it. They can see division. Like, I do see the lines of where Gord can try to extend out of that situation, right? Like, if Reaper tries to get overextend a lot with that force function, that one dude can, like, has a lot of tools to be able to stop them from doing it. And you're already seeing some of this early pressure go into their favor, but we're just ripping that DP right back into the mid-screen, and now you're just gonna be, oh my goodness. Oh.
You know, what an amazing start to that game.
Okay! I tried to wax poetic. I tried. I really did.
Most of the damage so far from DPing. You love to see it. Side talk combo.
Yeah. Well, hey, it was, 623 day earlier this week. Players just wanted to stay in the mood, right?
Oh, nice green shield bait. And gets the confirm here. But it's not the best damage. It's a little bit of an awkward hit. So...
Yeah, but we're going to be able to get the good knockdown. That cycle is going to be pretty deep into it as well, so potentially that one dude could steal it if they find these right opportunities. Reaper, though, just staying very confident on their own blocks, immediately popping the 236 CCS, because we'll just run it again as soon as we have that meter on deck.
But, like, why, though? 236C is plus already. Like...
I think it's trying to catch him on, like, because people will try to, like, green shield it so that they get the later hit. So you just try to, like, catch him doing that, and then you blow him up for it.
I guess that's fair. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty greedy. I feel like it's probably better just to take your pulse frames and then use CS to reset pressure again, but, you know...
Potentially, but you're throwing it out early, right? You throw it out early in the set, see how they react to it, and then maybe you get mileage down it later on when they forget about it as much.
Oh, yep, can't do that. 3C is pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, and that is the equalizer in this matchup a little bit. Like, I understand it's not great for Gordo, but if you just try to, like, utilize force function as your pressure starter into those follow-ups, you are able to get blown up pretty easily with things like 3C, 2B is a quick low, 5A is a quick low that checks it, your 2C will stop them from the air-to-air attempts right there, but they have all those armor normals that can be very hard to deal with, and unfortunately, you're just getting grid broken as you are just guessing wrong again and again, and Reaper going to take full mileage out of that.
Come on, not a third time. You're dead.
Yeah, into the IW as well, guaranteed to close out. Will we see Reaper go for another overhead within the first 20 seconds of the next round is the next question.
Something that I think NegaReaper probably needs to do more is 6-6B. I feel like in the sets that I've seen him play, he like doesn't 6-6B at all, which, I mean, that button is disgusting. Like, I don't know.
Hey, speak of the devil.
I mean, that button is broken. Like, what is Gordo supposed to do about it?
It is. Yeah, and I think you're seeing more. Like, you saw them do the quick cancel into the force function right there. Trying to make that DP work like we saw in that early aggression from that first set. But that one dude keeping it a little bit more calm, just trying to say, like, hey, we're not playing that kind of game anymore.
No, we are playing that kind of game right now.
We are.
You can't stop the Surge player. Dude, I was so ready for it to be happening again.
No. Whiff's thrown to immediate 171 to AD right there. Catches him as soon as they try to go for ground to sim. Reaper just going to be not able to close it out just yet. 2C hitting at the faintest end of that hitbox right there.
It's like the last active frame.
Yeah.
I really love the, alright, I'll just backdash to full screen so that I can armor set for free.
Yeah. Oh, 214C expecting like a dash block?
No,
potentially, or
Reaper,
trying to catch-
260. It would armor through it and like do a trillion damage.
Oh,
Well, it tries to seal the cycle with that smart ender, but it's not quite enough.
Again, bionic arm as we connect through.
This character is not real. Oh, block the 60!
Good blocks to the overhead this time. Yep, we're doing it. That one dude showing signs of life right here, not getting hit by the 30th overhead in a row.
Doesn't spend any meter. It's probably fine.
Yeah. Well, because we're saving it for right here, right? We want to be able to guarantee at the end of the cycle right here to just eat up as much time on that clock down. We have CS, so Reaper can't just CS.
We don't have CS anymore.
Anyways.
We tried to whip punish with CSM for some reason.
CSM. Yeah, they thought it would have reached. Unfortunately, it didn't.
You don't get a combo. It's not worth doing.
It's not, but you know that was the option that one dude decided to take right there, and that's gonna be Reaper moving on forward. The Tsurugi continues to thrive right here, but then we're gonna be moving back down on our loser side. We're gonna have Toast versus Yona coming up.
Do you think?
So
Do you think Yona's gonna play Elton for a game and then swap, or what do you think?
Do I think? No. Would I like them to? Yes.
Well, I mean, I know you don't think, but like, you know.
What? Wow. 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 You're so true, though.
I like, you know, I like how I can see the chat's like making suggestions, like, "Hey, Yona, can you play this character?"
I don't even have chat open. I don't even know what they are. They're yapping about. You know, can we bring out the yonachu on them? Why not?
I want to see hide mirrors, actually.
Do you? Do you?
I mean, no, but if one of them's got to be on my
Yeah.
screen, there may as well be two.
One of them has. That goes crazy. Sorry, that goes crazy. If one of them has to be on my screen, there may as well be two. I'm using that. That's like, oh, they listened.
I
They're
mean,
listening.
you know, can I predict the future or what?
Yeah. Got the Minority Report sitting in front of you. You're like sitting in the pool, looking at the future crime vision.
Yes, another hide
mirrors.
mirror. I can see it in the future.
It's a Wednesday at 6:46. A hide mirror will happen on twitch.tv/BostonBlueBee. Like hide mirrors are. Dude,
Coward.
Coward. But we're going with the Carmine instead, which like Yona Carmine is definitely real, but I don't know. I still feel like the Hyde is a character that deals with a lot of the Carmine shenanigans better than most of the roster. So
Yeah, I actually don't know. Oh well, you know, 3C is pretty good there.
3C is pretty good if you're just trying to make these full charge JCs with, or like connect onto the opponent right, and they're ready for the patience. Yona though does find a roll, tries to backdash out, gonna get clipped out with a couple of these punishes, but not able to make a ton happen right here. But you will get grid broken and the invalid off the delay tech.
That was just a very strange decision from Yona. Had already secured the cycle, it just flipped over. There's no need to shield there. Like, it is explicitly just a risk. Shielding high J6C is not something you can do, like, on reaction. You will die for it.
A coming through, no shield though from Toast right there, just holding the pressure, which allows Yona to be able to fully get this party started.
What's the bomb? What's the mix? No mix.
Well, the no mix was teleport that bomb behind you as you're backdashing. Nothing personal, kid. Now be able to loop back into it once more if you can finish that combo right here. 5BB not going to be able to find a connection that they want.
See there, that CS is really bad because it just gave Toast the cycle for free. And now you're stuck in the corner because of that.
Yeah, Toast locked it up right here. Yeah, and we have that CS as well. Block that DP, no puddle behind you to make it safe. That should allow Toast to take this set 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, I think that game ultimately came down to like a few really bad grid decisions, and Toast really punished Yona for it. So
yeah, potentially, you know, it's that the unfamiliarity with just like swapping between a bunch of characters, right? We're on our 4th character of the night, showing signs of Defiant right here. And like maybe just being like, oh, I'm just like, you know, trying to, you know, relay on some Uni 101, like, oh, I gotta shield through this, I gotta deal with this, I gotta deal with this. But then unfortunately, like going back to that, the opponent's playing at that next layer above it, now punish for that accordingly. But Yoda Seth is probably the strongest character that they have on deck, but they just unfortunately fast fell right into an explosion.
I'll just mash and wake up though. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Back out of the corner, a little unfortunate, but I know that that's one of those things where you're trying to do like a weird dash block throw type OS, but
It's more just immediately challenging as well with these two ways players trading both these players. But Toast, yeah, finding another big counter hit. Won't even need to spend the meter on there, so we'll walk into the next round with $200 into their pocket and only 1 health bar away from knocking Yona out.
nice job like getting the orb out, but it did give up a ton of grid in order to get it out. So kinda gonna need to be really careful here with this first cycle.
Yeah, oh, Via whiffed right there, but still the passive grid gain allowing Toast to keep the cycle right here, but should get punished accordingly with the 200 meter on deck. Yona, though, not able to find the end of the combo that they're looking for, so still needs one more big touch, spends some of it on shielding and grid thrusting, and Toast just runs back in to keep the pressure going.
Alright, blocks the overhead. Nice dash block out. That's up to confirm, though.
Yeah, Toast only went for ADP right there, though, thinking that they would be able to build a meter. Unfortunately didn't, so they would need this next touch right here. And as long as they keep it tight, we are doing 3 buttons into 3 buttons. Finally for once.
That'll do it.
Toast taking it 2-0.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Got spacing trap at the end there. I think Hyde's pretty good spacing trap. Doing spacing traps on CES buttons. Like, the only one that's like, 2C and 5CC are both really good, but you know, 2C kind of gets smoked by like Rekka type stuff. 5CC is good though, but
yeah. I think they have the right ideas.
Is like a hard mash to make work as Hyde into Seth. You probably would need to like dash, but you're not doing that mid pressure.
Yeah. But excellent stuff from Toast. They're going to be in their loser semis match fighting up against NegaReaper. So we get Hyde versus Tsurugi on the loser side. And then on the top side, which is our winners match, which we should be going up towards, we're going to be getting Jack Out back on and SlushRushSweep. We got Waldstein versus Hilda.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, this matchup is like pretty fun. Oh, nope. Lene versus Hilda. I love this matchup personally. I think it does kind of suck for Hilda, but it's pretty fun. I think that Hilda has like some pretty solid things that she can do into Lene that kind of annoy her, but also Lene 5C is broken, so you know.
Well, it's a little less broken, you know, in this current version of the game, right?
It's just as broken against Hilda as it was, because the thing is like 5C walkback no cancel stuff is really strong into 6 framers. It's really rough for them to deal with. So it's not that like the 5CC mix whatever was strong. It's just as a pressure like spacing trap tool is really strong.
Gotcha. Well, we might now finally be able to see it come on deck as Jack finally landing a big hit. As we kind of just been allowing Slush Rush to control a lot of this early tempo onto them. FF gonna work out for them once again, and we just end with that smart steer oh so quickly. Trying to make sure these rounds go as quick as possible as we are in a winner's finals. We are at 3 out of 5 at this point.
Oh no, gets hit by Assault JC, grid broken. So this is actual real damage. Does the setup.
Pressure.
Full frames.
Forward.
Just runs into the 2C. That's a mid, by the way. I really like that that setup actually. Using the metered like Roomba after the Gloom starts firing to get like a better, safer mix-up.
Yeah, it's something I've seen like a little bit evolve in Hilda play as it goes through. I know some of the JP Hilda players have started like adding that into their own game plan as well.
Yeah,
so
it's definitely the safest way to get it out.
Yeah. And if you can do safe ways to get in a good mix, you're in for a good spot. Vio, though, is going to allow that Roomba to connect as Jack. Unfortunately, that did not work out for you, but for SlushRush, it allowed you to take game number 1.
That was VO.
Yeah, I know Jack's thinking right now, like, you know, we have our usual icing, but they want the rematch. They do not want to be picking Walden, at least at this point. They, you know, potentially don't feel as comfortable as walled into the Hilda, which I can also see.
Oh my god, that was a nasty anti-air 5A into a confirm.
That was very, very nice from SlushRush, showing that they are on point right now.
Oh.
Yeah, just stagger out those 5As, trying to make them challenge on a throw right here. We're moving 32 times in the air to try to open them up. Jack O trying to play with their food a little bit, but we find that big 2C to finally make a big party start.
This is a linear round if I've ever seen one.
Cash out the item as well. Should not be enough to kill just yet. Yes, you have to concentrate. You have to do one more TK Kuga to catch him as he's trying to press out.
That wouldn't have happened, UNICLR. It would have just won.
Unfortunately, the future is now.
There's no low.
That was a very good spacing. Very good spacing, though. I like to just pop the Helmbreaker CS right there to make sure they can stay out of Roomba for as long as possible.
And now Roomba's gone.
Would have given the opportunity to come through, but a great Assault JC right there that came from SlushRush, allowing for another boom set on the knockdown. You have to hold all this, gets caught with the 47 frame overhead. Yep.
Doesn't even spend meter, does the double pin under stuff.
Yeah, and it's good recognition that, hey, I don't need to spend the meter, right? I have the opportunity to be able to save it for this round, try to use that EXR skewer right there to continue their own pressure, and now able to find a great hit.
Yeah, that's the A teleport C skewer stuff that I was talking about. I think it's really good in certain matchups. It's like a really safe round start option that oftentimes leads to a combo because people like to do dumb stuff into it. A lot of people don't realize it's plus. Uh-oh.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Okay.
There we go. We're fine. We're fine. We got those combos anyways. We're golden. Look, if SlushRush is hitting these routes like this, they're just better.
You know, it's true. Hilda combos are hard.
It is true. It is. They're hard, but you know when you're running them back to back like that, sometimes they make it work. Not 100% sure what happened there. I hope it wasn't anything on the, anything too crazy.
You know, I wonder if we'll see the walled swap now that the two Lene games are not looking very, very good.
Yeah, we could see it. Like, the SlushRush definitely feels prepared for the Lene, right? It's one of those things like, oh, I'm going to bring it out as I'm a get you.
I mean, you literally, if you are a Hilda player, you have to know the Lene matchup. Like, it's like required. There's too many Lene players for you to not have experience with it. So, unless the Lene player is really good, the Hilda player is probably at advantage naturally. But this matchup is, like, really awkward for everyone involved.
And are we just running this back at 1-0 or are we 2?
I would imagine with the character swap, you have to say it's 2-0. Like, I don't think you could say like, oh yeah, this is match number 2 and they swap characters.
Yeah, and I think that route even at the end kills. So like, but right now Jackoat showing that they are still online and active. Yeah, and they're off that lane, into this 2-0 situation.
I wish
it's SlushRush. No,
I wish SlushRushSweep would do 5C more when seeing wall jump, right? Like, FF is really good, but 5C is just like an easier, better combo, right? Really tall height FFs, you have to do like a really awkward C-pin confirm.
Yeah, but potentially it's one of those things that SlushRush might be more comfortable with it, right? As that's what they've been laving and what they've been practicing. So it's one of those just familiarity things at this point. But yeah, definitely going for those easier options can be very helpful. Body Slash CS to get out of the room of pressure as it comes through. Swipes connecting with no full route because we want to go for this grab reset.
Yeah, I think teleporting against wall is kind of risky because he oftentimes accidentally just hits you for it, which is, you know, unfortunate. It's good when it's good, it's not good any other time.
Great CS right there on those shields. Be able to try to get an opportunity with some meter to work out, but unfortunately not going to find it. And now SlushRush, they're losing the first round, going to be sitting themselves on match point.
JTC is a really good starter as well, although didn't do the best route, but it's still pretty solid damage. Yep, she can cancel, it doesn't matter that you shielded it, but I guess people won't know that.
There's not as many active Hildas, right? Sometimes you can get away with some of this information.
That's true.
SlushRush is showing that they're not someone to, you can't let them just get away with stuff right here. Good VO as well to get out, being able to find the swipe at the very end. So we have that right combo exactly into the IW right here for a truckload of damage. Yeah.
Oh, no hit confirm.
Oh! That's fine. I don't think any of us were ready for that to connect right there.
2-2-C is so strong in this matchup. It carries for sure.
Yeah, especially with how long it takes to actually go for Gamma Wave right there, right? Like it takes with enough windup that you're able to just snipe him out with the 2-2-C basically on reaction.
It depends on which one he does, but yeah, it's pretty solid into explicitly that option, right? They did make a change though, where Hilda is no longer invuln when 2-2-C connects, so if things stay out and are more active, they'll trade, and that's usually not that good for her, but it's only relevant in like a few places.
Yeah, fortunately for SlushRush, not relevant in that exact scenario. So they will be moving on forward to that Grand Finals winner side slot, and they're gonna have to fight one of our 3 warriors still left on the loser's side. Our next match, NegaReaper versus Toast. Tsurugi versus Hyde.
You know, if you think about it, this is basically a Hyde mirror and a Tsurugi mirror at the same time.
At the same time. Yeah. 100%.
I feel like I don't need to expand on that anymore, actually.
Yeah, that's just...
Yep, that's the matchup.
We're good. We collect $200, go past go. There is like a little bit more. It's one of those that like if it's entirely momentum driven on like who gets these big early hits, right? Because they both have the good option to get out of a lot of these the like more like traditional setups that the players want to be bringing into a match. So if the player can just keep momentum and try to just like out-shimmy them, that I think is going to be a big lead of success. One thing that you have to worry about from the Toast side of things is you have to play at a much farther spacing because of just the length of BBB, right? The horizontal range on it is pretty crazy. But Reaper is just playing A+D simulator right now, and as soon as Toast tried to challenge, was like, nah, I press.
I mean, it's scary to press in a Tsurugi. I don't know. I mean, it's scary to press in a Hyde too, but like, I don't know. It's one of those things. Both of these characters just do so much damage that you kind of gotta respect them.
Yeah, and you're already seeing that damage quickly add up after just like one straight hit into a full combo. But we just, Beyblade let it rip. That CDP connecting. And it is that horizontal range that we're talking about, right? Like, I think versus Hyde, that CDP doesn't connect as much. Great skyscraper
really
anti-air there. Yeah. And just being ready to confirm it as soon as they're falling down. To see a lot of high players drop it, but Toast not ready for it. Vio, though, does come out.
I actually really like that Vio out because it guarantees the cycle. I mean, if they block it, it doesn't, obviously. But, like, you know, I feel like it's just really smart there. Because they're probably expecting, like, Mash, because you've been DPing so much, so...
Yeah. And they're working out for Reaper a lot. 6 speed trying to go, but we got the no cancel afterwards as we see that we're just ready for it. Tech out. Rekka not going to connect. See Pogo trying to keep us safe. We're trying to Pogo a little bit more as Toast knows that they are 1 frame gap away from just getting DP once again. CS comes through. You rip that CDP as soon as you try to dash.
It wasn't even red flash. It was literally neutral CS situation. I'm CDPing. Like,
he was ready for it. He was ready for it. It's that Reaper mindset.
That was buffered. That wasn't.
Yeah.
That was always going to happen.
Yeah, but he was ready for how fate came his way, and that way came with taking round number 1. J2C, the full IC as well, auto tracking to bring you to the corner for some reason. Oh, but we just make a 5B.
Counter hit. Oh, rare footage of high Rekka options, not just beating everything.
Like, oddly enough, like Tsurugi is like a character that actually deals with that pretty easily. Right?
Yeah,
he's one of the he's one of the characters that can get through a lot of the high fireball Rekka stuff. Good shields right there. No challenge though. Expecting these kinds of shenanigans to come through, and Reaper just bringing it to be full party time right now.
You know, I feel like NegaReaper has the Tsurugi spirit. You know, this is exactly who they designed this character for.
Alright, 6xB whiffing right there, but because Toast had the right counterplay, was able to find an opportunity to jump out of it.
That is tragic.
Oh, no! Yeah. But we still hold that corner pressure. Reaper wasn't ready to get the full capitalization on, but we are ready to Bionic Arm!
Taking 4K?
Yeah, just
not quite corner to corner, but, you know, still pretty solid.
Just like that, DP was about to be pretty solid, but Toast ready to just walk back. Unfortunately, we drop our combo right at the very end. Not able to get the extension off that spacing.
Yeah, sees the red mist there. That DP is guaranteed.
Follow-up, and we just challenge with our... Yeah. Excellent, excellent stuff. NegaReaper taking that with a quick 2-0.
Yeah, that was really solid.
Oh.
So now we're gonna see Jack versus NegaReaper?
Yep. That will be our losers finals match. So curious to see. I feel like Wald is the option you want.
I have no idea.
Like the Lene versus Tsurugi is good for Lene. Like I think she's a character that deals with a lot of the Tsurugi shenanigans pretty well. But I definitely feel like Wald is a character that you can like really make a lot work with at some of those spacings. But it does require you to just be right a little bit more often, as we have said in the past. But Jack's been pretty right for a lot of this whole tournament.
Yeah,
his decision making, coin flips is like pretty on point. So we will have to see if they can continue that up, or if NegaReaper can get their run back. Mind you, this losers finals is the 2 people in the top 8 that SlushRush knocked down into here. So these are both players trying to get their run back. They want that sweet hill to defeat, but unfortunately the DP is not going to connect out for Reaper early on. An unfortunate drop that came from Jack right there, but we're still trying to make some stuff happen.
NegaReaper is forcing like a bunch of really awkward situations that I feel like Jack is just like, how do I combo from this, or like how do I confirm from this, right?
Yeah. Fortunately, though, it's once Wald does have the 100 meter, you saw the EX swipe right there, which basically allows you to take a lot of these random stray hits that you get and convert it into these more stable routings.
That's crazy. I do really like NegaReaper's VO instinct. I think it's really solid, and every time he's done it, it has had a huge impact on the cycle. So,
it's definitely very, very good. And he's also not like he's pretty much only willing to use it at that 100 meter range. Like for any of the sets that we've seen him on stream, hasn't been really doing it at that like 150 plus range, where it can get a little bit scarier to like, oh, I just kind of feel like I'm wasting it, right? Just more as a get off me tool. through. Armor Jace.
DP.
Connection right there.
Jacko mixing himself up by forward teching out of the corner. I understand the like impulse to do that, but it doesn't work usually.
Yeah, especially with like how like on point Reaper has been through a lot of these situations. But it's also one of those. This is 3 out of 5,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
You have rounds that you can get these downloads in. So now you're like, okay, that doesn't work. Ignore that. That's not something on the table. We'll just forward tech again though to get our own VO instead. Gonna lose the cycle though, as Jack able to find that 214C connection. What's the 6-6B right here? Trying to catch him low, but gets clipped by the DP anyways.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Does that only hit crouching on wall? Like, because I feel like we've seen that situation a lot, and it just like doesn't hit crouching.
Yeah, I haven't watched like Tsurugi versus Wald too much. It's a specific matchup, but I feel like I've only ever seen a hit right here.
But maybe my eyes are bad, and it works on everyone.
You don't have the Mystic Eyes depth perception
Yeah.
here?
Well, the only like Tsurugi I really play against is Tafcat, who doesn't play like this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because Reaper is right now is only. It feels like they're playing with hatred in their heart, right? Like it's very effective. It is a playstyle. I think it's a Tsurugi playstyle that works very, very well for this character, right? It's something that I've played some other Tsurugis that kind of play similarly, where they just want to play like you like keep their car, right? Like it's like I gotta knock you off this planet, and you just gotta like smother them with this pressure. And as you see, it at least gets you pretty far into some brackets like these.
This backdash is just so funny. It had already gave up the cycle. It was like, all right, it's fine. I'll just backdash, get in a stance, and then ruin your day.
Yeah. Ends up working out for them as well. Jack, though, clipping them out as they were potentially looking for like a potentially 214C right there. I'm not 100% sure what was coming through. But now you're holding this. Oh, saw the green shield, but unfortunately went for clap instead of the 360C right there. They have the grid break, but we're still keeping this pressure. We're still holding them down.
Oh no, gets baited by the assault button. Not a ton of damage though. Usually assault button, not too much unless counter hit or grid break. Oh, never mind. Now you should be dead.
Yeah. Had that exact same situation happen in the previous round, and it had worked out a lot in their favor, but Reaper, now prepared for it this time, does not want to hold any of that and is going to be up 2-0. But like I said, losers finals. You still have one more game that you have to take through. And we haven't seen Reaper sit in this 3 out of 5 situation before. We did see Jack and SlushRush took it 3-0, right? But anything's possible right here. Big 720.
Nice punish on that. Is gonna get this cycle. Yep. That was really close though for NegaReaper. Potentially could have ended it early to sneak out a cycle, but I think it's okay to just give it up.
It's always hard when you have to force the force function, or sometimes like double force function in your combos
smart combo
with Tsurugi. Yeah. Oh, doesn't kill off that hit right there. Was not ready for it to go for the full routing. This gives Jack one more chance right here. Some great defense coming through to try to stay alive. Finally finds a way to tech out and finding a punish on their own as Reaper had that throw whiff right here. Now you have to hold all this CS on deck, so you're at least going to be walking into the next round with a little bit more rhythm than the last time, and you made Reaper spend 100.
I get why Jack like CS'd there, but man, I feel like NegaReaper is just like on every neutral CS interaction, so I would be afraid to neutral CS there.
Yeah. Right, another great hit right there. Also, that cross-up that Reaper got with the fake cross-up overhead throw was kind of nasty, I'm not going to lie to you. But a big overhead coming here from Jack.
Overhead, like, this is going to hurt.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
5,800?
Almost 6K.
5,900! Oh, that 898 bonus
damage. It makes sense.
God.
This is VO.
I know, it's crazy. It's always crazy. Yeah, sees the red mist of death, be able to rip that DP out right here. Jackdo desperately looking for an opportunity to try to challenge.
By the one low in Sergey's kids.
Yeah, and that will close it out. That is NegaReaper taking it 3-0 to get the run back versus SlushRushSweep.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a run back either way, but now we get the Tsurugi Hilda run back.
You get a little bit more of your favorite character.
Look, you know, I do love Hilda.
That's right, Hilda. Yeah. All right. So as SlushRushSweep gets into the match,
just don't get hit.
I wonder. Just don't get hit. Just don't get hit. I mean, that was SlushRushSweep's game plan the last time they played, and it worked out pretty good. Just don't get hit. They can get hit. They had a lot of those really good reads, the FF on some of those pressure sequences, able to like snipe out with the. They had a couple times where they sniped up with like 623D as well on just like the chance up. They're like, oh, I'm gonna backdash like shield and come in. It's like, nope, get hit from behind.
Yeah, something that is like actually pretty nice in this version is they gave Hilda FFA like actual low crush property, which I think is super helpful in this matchup. Because 66B like used to kind of just like clean lead FF in a lot of ways, but FFA is really good into it. So off to a great start here for SlushRushSweep. Grid broken, gets nice Oki.
Yeah, catches them low as well with the Roomba mix, so should be able to get a good set of damage right here, and already working with a very big health bar, but Reaper just needs their one opportunity to get out, but we're going to get hit with the double FFA right there to close it out.
I like the concentrate there. Concentrate and skewer toss. See, there if you're SlushRushSweep, I think pressing 5C is really strong. It's very difficult for Tsurugi to actually do very much about it there.
Oh,
good match out.
Great recognition. Yeah. It's something like if you were watching the previous sets, even when like Reaper had been going for the overheads right there, they hadn't been going for like immediate follow-up. They're always waiting on the hit confirm or like on the block to like see how they can capitalize on it. So being able to challenge that 2A was really, really smart from SlushRush right there. That J236C not going to work out.
Pick up on the teleport.
But does get the pickup on the Roomba right at the very end. Had a great opportunity to set it out and force themselves into the driver's seat here as they're up 1-0.
Guys, that was I'm kind of surprised Roomba actually fired there, and that's the FFA I was talking about. It's really nice to have that now in this matchup.
Yeah, it like not having to do something weird cheeky set right there. I love that fake overhead off that assault right there.
Yeah, that wasn't even 50-50 timing on the 2A. That was just like, yep, I'm just going to 2A you.
Yeah. But hey, if it works, it works. Players will just sometimes respect it. But Reaper, once again, bringing up their throw tendencies. We do have to VO right here, but that does allow us to get a Roomba set. 2-2B gonna connect, but we're not into that Roomba just yet.
You kind of don't want the Roomba actually there to hit. You kind of want it to go away, but it is what it is.
It like messes up the like good Oki at the very end that you could have been getting.
It also messes with your EXs.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, like we're seeing Reaper, we've seen a lot of the previous sets with Reaper that they're just trying to go for this like side swap J2C connect like setups on people, but they only went for one versus SlushRush. It's seeming like maybe they're ready for it, trying to like play around and respect them a little bit more. But
yeah, I don't know. I feel like once Hilda has 100 meter, the J2C stuff is off limits. But before then, it's actually not too bad. Like. Although 5C is pretty strong from her, so it's pretty hard to be up in a position where J2C is actually that good.
Yeah.
What's the mix? DPs.
See, I don't hate the DP, just like try to get it to like just get out of that situation, right? It's scarier to hold it than it is to take 800 damage at that point.
And Roomba is gone now, so no threat there.
Yep.
I guess it wasn't actually gone, but now it's actually gone.
Lost the concentration war as well, even off that with some good shields right at the very end from Reaper. Off that Gloom, so...
Yeah, unfortunately,
just staying very
setting Gloom like takes a little bit of crit away from you, so anytime you do the 6xx Gloom set stuff, the concentrate like basically never makes up the grid.
Mm-hmm. Alright, yeah, and finally gets the 50-50 right at the very end. SlushRush taking another round at basically 100% health, besides a couple of trades here and there, and is now sitting 2-0.
NegaReaper taking a second to think. It looks pretty hard. I think, you know, it's one of those ones where you kind of have to just accept that you have to dash block, and like you can send like 6-6B and 2-3-6C, right? Those are really good whip punish tools in the matchup. But you know, it's one of those things where if you like this is really strong. Hilda has to commit to different things, right? Like I think it's his 6-6C just goes clean over 2C. He's got some stance options that he can do that go clean over 2C. So.
And stuff we're already seeing like now the asserted pressure, that like very aggressive playstyle that Reaper has been known for in these previous matches, finally coming to fruition right here. Gets these 4A staggers to fully connect, and Reaper finally taking around the board and being able to secure a perfect 2-3-6C coming out as well, allowing them to just keep this pressure up once again. But SlushRush finally getting their chance to play, and now has an opportunity to make some of these tools work.
Yep, just gets the 6-6C. Not a ton of damage though, because it was a really far hit, and roll ruining your Oki. You can't do anything off that CS because you're Hilda. I mean, this is the type of situation that Sugi really wants to be in. It's very difficult for Hilda to be out. So
yeah, holding it down right now. Good block still coming up from SlushRush. Reaper trying to find new opportunities to open them up, and so far, a big thing is them like not baiting onto these big shields right here, which I feel like a lot of people would be doing to try to like guarantee the cycle.
You're already winning the cycle.
You just lock it up. Exactly, but just staying calm, locking it by blocking now, allowing yourself to VO at this opportunity. Roomba comes through.
Yeah, you need to spend the 2-2C there so you actually get some refund back.
Yeah. Oh, big hit right here, but we're not able to find the extension after the chain shift, unfortunately. SlushRush still going to take big advantage of that, get the extension going, but we'll just rip that CDP.
That was a really good CDP, not falling for the restand setup.
But another great 2A challenge coming from SlushRush. I think very like prominent as a part of their game plan is like just having these really good reads on these 2As again and again and again, exactly when they need to mash out on these situations to secure these rounds.
Well, nice bait on the 2C and the 2CC, so you get rewarded with some corner pressure. Yep.
Good.
Hilda 3B in the corner is, you know, it's susceptible to the same thing a lot of anti-airs are. Goes for a little cheeky overhead option.
Tosses him with the throw, puts him into a one-touch on a strike or a throw here now, so you have to guess with your life. And NegaReaper went low, finally getting a point on the board, bringing it to
a double perfect, but not like in a row.
Yeah. But it was double perfect after giving SlushRush a bunch of meter, and that was a big thing, right? Is SlushRush having access to like
that
meter,
that meter went away immediately, right? It was a really awkward situation for SlushRush where he CS'd with Celestial, but didn't spend the VO fast enough to get much refund. So it was actually only like 200 meters spent and got 40. So it definitely wasn't that good.
Yeah. Now, Surgy pressure once again holding you through, but SlushRush finding the patience, finding the opportunity to create a gap. Getting these big 2As, goes for the side swap routing as well, so now you have to hold that gloom. Yeah, and you can't roll like
really
that.
Really good patience from SlushRushSweep there. You know what kind of opponent you have, so, you know, you gotta remind them sometimes that, hey, if you try random stuff, it's not gonna work, but this is what I find about the, like, Hilda Roomba reset pressure. It doesn't work very well in Tsurugi because of exactly that button right there. It's really awkward.
Good armor through all that right there from Reaper, being able to find an opportunity to actually a force function to work out, and able to pop that CS at the very end, make sure they can get as much meter as they can, because they know it is so important to them making this reset happen.
Yep, that's a good round start. Hilda can't do anything about it. But gives up pressure immediately. I think that's another problem that like NegaReaper seems to be having in this matchup is like, once he gets in, he's not like converting it into like too much that's too scary. Although I say that, but last game he was, so I don't know.
Like, it's the potential's there. He just does like set himself up into those opportunities to make it happen.
Exactly.
And SlushRush has been doing, I think, a better job of forcing him less into those comfortable situations to be a monster like that.
Yeah,
right?
I think we're seeing really good adaptation from NegaReaper though. Like, I think early on in the set we were not really seeing a lot of the 6 XP, not really seeing a lot of the like more grounded Tsurugi pressure, or Tsurugi neutral, and it was more like really weird going in the air, but. Has started enforcing the grounded neutral to allow him to go in the air more.
It was trying to be like in the air to like catch him out with like some like very hard reads and hard callouts. But SlushRushSweep even finally making these adaptations towards the later end of the set, like finding exactly when they can press, exactly when they can challenge, just like eke these life totals back and forth again and again. But Reaper, once again, finding an early set of pressure, able to knock him into the corner. Now SlushRush needed to press low right there, but they unfortunately were pressing 5A.
She doesn't have a low that
get
reaches,
blown up
so
for
she
it.
can't match there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vio's out, but this is actually a really dangerous spot if you're Hilda. Like, gets the 50-50 though.
Yeah, because SlushRush doing is they need to turn up the aggression at least a little bit, right? Like you were sitting at awakening
Oh,
point,
the
basically.
vortex has begun.
Yeah. You have to hold all this because you need to secure this. You do not want to let these rounds go any further. You don't want a reset to happen if you can, but Reaper's at least going to tie it up 2-2.
Yep, there it is.
And even Reaper taking the time to breathe between sets. You know, like I feel like both these players are having to play to the full extent. They're having to play at 100% to be able to outpace each other and outgain each other at this stage of it.
Yeah, I feel like NegaReaper's done a really good job making adaptations. We'll have to see if SlushRush can do the same, right? Nice smash. Do the side swap route. +8. Oh, that was not supposed to be 2C.
Yeah, unfortunate right there for SlushRush, but didn't get punished, which is good for them, at least on the side of the health bars. They're going to be setting up once more good blocks on the overhead, not space to go for double overhead, so instead we just set the room to go through.
Nice teleport.
And we catch him with the teleport.
Doesn't get a confirm off of it, but that teleport really saved SlushRushSweep from dying.
Yes, yeah. Now you're just back in this mid screen as well, not having to hold the full corner pressure from Tsurugi. But we're back to going for those air assault pressures, trying to catch SlushRush from pressing something a little bit more committal like that.
Yeah, being very, very cautious even after setting the plus on block Roomba because of Tsurugi having meter, right? It's really easy for him to outrun the Roomba, make it fire, and then just like immediately it doesn't do anything. Oh, finally gets it overhead.
Overhead reset. Yeah, brought it out as a reset, like after the accidental combo drop right here. We'll spend the meter as well. NegaReaper now putting themselves 1 health bar away, 99 seconds for moving on to a reset here.
Yep, can't preemptive roll in neutral. I think it's not very good against zoners in general, but you know, it is good on Oki.
Good staggers well from Reaper right here. Now, forced to roll off that, which allows SlushRush to get this corner for free, which is huge. Big 5CC.
Insane conversion. That hit confirm actually also won the cycle because the AB ender was so early.
Excellent, excellent recognition. Gloom once more goes low this time, and we just smart steer with the Gloom set on top of him to guarantee the closeout. It is match point, potential tournament point here for SlushRushSweep.
Yeah, SlushRushSweep not letting Roomba ruin the combo, said I'm gonna go into Smart Ender immediately.
Getting another good hit off that Roomba as well. Once again, catches him overhead off the 50-50.
Alright, you're stuck in the blender. What's happening? Alright. No mix, goes for dash 2-2B.
Yeah, but we dropped the combo, unfortunately. So Reaper now just has to hold all this pressure. 2-1-4-C not gonna come through. We get the cross up low. If you long as you keep it tight, yep, should be enough. Charge 5C at the very end, and that's gonna be SlushRushSweep taking it 3-2 over NegaReaper to beat your Boston Blue Beat UNI2 champion this week.
Yeah, good stuff to SlushRushSweep. I mean, NegaReaper had a really solid run back, had made amazing adaptations, but just not quite able to do it. So, Congratulations to SlushRush.
Yeah, I think
though.
Yeah, SlushRush did a really good job just right at the very end. I think moving that dial up one to be like, okay, this is, I know how you're going to play, and I'm going to be able to move exactly one step ahead of you. And we saw that right at the very end of that last round right there, just constantly opening up again and again and again, not allowing NegaReaper to get any kind of footing in that match.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Congrats to all of our players who have entered our bracket so far. And, congrats to our whole top 8 that we had for this event. But what I'm seeing right here is I'm still seeing some Matcherino codes available. Which, chat, I think you guys should claim those. Exclamation mark, Matcherino. Claim those codes. We have like 20 left. Share them with everyone you know. I'm serious. And don't call me Shirley. But a couple things to wrap up. Once again, Boston Blue Beats online weeklies. These happen Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8 p.m. EST. We got Blaze Blue Mondays, we got Plus R Tuesdays, and we've got UNI2 Wednesdays. So please make sure that you roll on through, sign up for all of these if you're interested in any of these games. They happen almost every single week, and they are super, super sick. As well as we've got Boston Blue Beach episode, good old Bepisode, happening on July 18th through 20th in Waltham, Massachusetts. You see all these games on screen. We've got all the anime titles you want, all the non-anime titles, or almost all the non-anime titles you want. We got Smash, we got Rivals 2. Most importantly, there's Undernight there. Y'all tune into this. Please make sure that you can still register. It goes through July 6th. So you still have a little bit of time left. Start.gg/beach. Please make sure to sign up for that. And sign up for SQXL Burst La Burst. It's an all-new 2-day tournament event brought to you by the North Carolina Anime FGC, located in wonderful downtown Durham at the Durham Convention Center. It's featuring 9 main stage tournaments, including some of the NorCal favorites like Guilty Gear, Grand Blue, and a bunch of French Bread titles. So please make sure to sign up for that. It's going to be super, super sick. Casey,
Yeah.
have you anything that you'd like to say to the folks at home? Having a wonderful time commentating with you tonight.
No, I don't. I don't really run events or anything. I barely even show up to my own local stuff. So
That is true. I actually ripped you from the Wednesday locals here to go.
That is true. Our locals go until 11, but
Oh right, yeah.
I'm still not gonna go. So don't tell anyone.
Excellent stuff. But yeah, thank you all for coming through to Boston Blue Beat this week. We've had a wonderful time here on the UNI2 side of things. We are going to be sending y'all over to Lunar Phases, so they're still going on right now. So please make sure to check them out. Give them a good on hello from us over here at Boston Blue Beat.